Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. I was about to flip those, and I just smashed my nose into this microphone. It's going well today. We've had abundance of technical issues, so thank you for being patient with us, and thank you for waiting. Before we get on with tonight's episode, we need to cover a few things. There is, first of all, a light blaring into my face that I'm gonna... The sun has just moved. Good. Fantastic. There we go. To start off tonight, we are brought... This episode is helped made by the wonderful people at Syrinscape. Syrinscape, I use it for their online player, which allows me to send my soundtracks across the globe to my lovely players that you see arrayed below me. And I like that I've got Shane here, but not here, but Mordred's here, but I haven't got him on the...
I am here now.
He's here. He is here now, and camera is working, but he's not in the right slot. So there we go. Quick fix. Syrinscape. Yeah, sorry for ruining your ad read again. As always, but you can try Syrinscape for free via the App Store on an iOS or Apple device. iOS is Apple device or an Android device, or going to Syrinscape.com for more information. They have 20 free sound sets to get you started. Without further ado, though, I'm not going to waste any time plugging any of our shit. Let's get on with tonight's broadcast, shall we? So, who would like to give us a recap from last episode? Also, just before we start, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a cloak, myself and Mordred were at a convention this week, and apparently in the gift bag, I literally opened the gift bag like while we were trying to fix things to start. Apparently there was a cloak in there. Free advertising, I guess, for the company I work for, but like, hey, I'm wearing a cloak now.
Paradox.
Yes. There's this whole inner joke about a cult at Paradox, and I think this was a play on that. But yeah, so fuck it, I've got a cloak now. Who would like to do a recap?
We split the party.
Go on then, Valmir. You've
We should split the recap.
Split the recap. Okay, Valmir, you do your split recap, and then.
Yeah, so while they all went off to see Ruby's mum, Valmir stayed at the monastery to do some light reading in their very elaborate library, and also do some training. I wanted to train a bit more with his glaive, so he stayed behind to do some of that. And in the library, he found a couple of very old, dusty books that he could read thanks to the eyes of the Rune Keeper. And I learned a couple of things about the things that keep the gods away. I forgot the name of them, but I learned some about that. It's got a name.
The Seals of Elendor.
That's the one, the seals. I learned a little bit about the seals, and also learned a little bit about maybe my parentage, maybe know what my Demon Daddy is, potentially, maybe. Also, I had a call with Brother Dearest, who came and once again paralyzed me in a way that I have literally zero ability to save from, and told me about a family reunion thing going on in a month time. So I have to prepare for that as well, I guess. And yeah, that's what Valma is doing.
Okay, as we're splitting this recap, I'm gonna do this because it's gonna be split pretty much 3 ways. I'm gonna do this like a bless die. So you're gonna get a blessing because bless level 1, 3 casts. This works. So you've got a D4 that you can add to a roll. Ghibli, why don't you give me the recap for your party's part?
So Darius wanted to go shopping, so we took a little Zorps run, and we brought Claudia with us, and so we were pretty much sure she was going to steal a bunch of things, which I don't think she did, because she's not a Zorp. And then after the shopping, typical Darius, what did you buy? You bought, like, gems and...
Everything.
Everything. You're muted. You're muted.
I bought a lot of very specific items.
Yeah, and he had a whole list. So he had a list. We didn't, the rest of us just sort of hung out. And then we went to go visit the Night Pilgrims to tell them about what we had accomplished with successfully deterring the assassination of the king. And then I just kind of lore dropped on them all the stuff that's going on in hopes that maybe they could help us with some things. And I gave them a bit too much information, so they kind of got overwhelmed, but they did say that they could smuggle us into Retberry. And so we have that as an option. And I think that's it, really. I started a fire in the town. We assaulted a knight. Yeah, I was kind of glazing over the nefarious bits.
You didn't assault me. You humiliated him.
I've become a knight's pantser.
She humiliated him. I assaulted him.
Phantom Panther of Othray. They cometh at night to take your pantaloons. But yes, you can take a D4 for that. That was pretty good. Because you did highlight that we left off with Zedaar letting a group of about 12 commoners know that the world is ending. Next up, we'll head over to Lake or Beth. Who wants to take this? Who wants to take this one?
There wasn't a whole lot that we got up to. Breton and Sol were just, some might say, bonding. Breton dedicating to spending some time with her. They were going to meet with Ruby's mother and see if there's any connection that could be made there. In the process, he stopped off at a jeweler to pick up some definitely not wedding bands. That confusion, that joke was made. Which also led to Sol trying to reinvent herself and see what tastes she might have and what she might want to buy. After that, we traveled towards the cathedral as we learned that Lady Sunderstar was grieving the loss of her family. And as the individuals who truly have no timing or replacement, as all D&D characters do, they decided that this was the time to drop the bombshells on them. Sol basically introduced herself, and while there was a similarity to Ruby, there was no familial connection that Lady Sunderstar felt. And Breton attempted to apologize for failing what he felt was in his line of duty, and was told, no, don't try that shit. Keep doing your work. And the Lady Sunderstar left. That was all that we got up to. That was all that we did.
Like, you also get a D4, so blessings for those 3 of you to give us the recap. So yes, we leave off with the party. We leave off with Claudia, Zedaar, and Darius leaving the underground hideout. You clamber out of the sewers again. You say goodbye to Brick. Oh, is it? Oh, no,
right.
his name was Brock Brick, I think. Sorry. I couldn't remember if it was Brick Brock or Brock Brick, but maybe they could be cousins.
Can I call him Lego? As we leave. Goodbye, Lego. We are in no way affiliated with Lego and any of their products.
I'm a Mega Bloks man myself.
Yeah.
But yes, I take it the... Oh, Zep, actually, as you're here now, people have been... This has been downtime. Some people have taken the skyship to Arte. You could have either have gone with them or you could have stayed at the cathedral. Which would you like to have done?
I would definitely have taken the skyship, but I probably stayed on board because I am still working on reverse engineering that laser dish that we got. And I'm also trying to reverse engineer the homing rocket.
Okay. Give me an artifice lore check. Pertaining to Arcana, if that makes a difference.
Apparently I can't double click on die rolls. Yes, I can. There it is. That is a 23.
A 23.
With a flash of genius, 28.
My God. Sure, I should just always accept that you succeed these checks at this point.
Still a question of how much, though.
Yeah, I know, but like if we use DMG terms, 30 is like God level ability, like you know the answers behind the veil of the universe. So, I'm glad I don't follow the DMG for everything. You take a look at the... this is pertaining to the cracked glass. And from what you have two different colors. You have like a yellow color and a green color. And for what you can see is that the green color comes from a slightly bigger, like, original panel. And the yellow is actually almost complete as a lens. It's just slightly, like, missing probably like a sixth of it. And from what you kind of gather is that each of the colors pertains to a semantic field of magic. And that you feel like the focusing lens has like prisms for each magic school in order to amplify the different types of magic. So you don't know, you can't quite pertain if the device requires all of them to work, or it only requires all of them in sequence just to accommodate those types of spells, or if certain ones are, you know, what make it work, other ones are what amplify it. You haven't gotten that. You can't really be certain without it, but these are definitely part of a set, it seems. And they're, from what you can tell, the green one is larger than the yellow one, and therefore the green one would be like before it in the order. Just another update. You also discussed what you are doing next in terms of recapping, and you discussed the various seals and started to, because that was Zep found, was delivered a note. Valmir has done some further research. So is there anything else you guys need to do in Arte except for picking up the jewelry? Those of you who are there. Or would like to.
Can't
I would
think
like
of
to be
anything that
picked up.
Brett needs to do.
Okay. So Breton and Ruby, you get some lunch into... Sorry. Sol, hang on. Where's a sticky note? Where's a sticky note?
I am the sticky note, but I just can't wear it on my forehead. It'd be cumbersome.
I would like to have gotten 750 crafting materials, gold's worth of crafting materials.
You can have done that from
Cool.
from Zorps, because there is a Zorps here. Also, I don't know if you were here for that, but you also had you got given 1,000 gold as well, extra. You and Braun for as like compensation from the king. I've actually got Soul now under one of my webcams. To try and remind me, I don't know if it'll work. Okay, so you get some lunch, you hang around town. You actually walk past this knight who looks very flustered and is like clutching greaves that have had broken straps as he walks around with like a cloak tied around his waist. But eventually you head back to the jewelers, and
What's wrong with him?
You are provided with Soul. You are given a set of carved. They're backed onto a little plate of titanium in order to, like, so it's like sorry, platinum, not titanium, platinum. They've made platinum like ringlets to actually like hook into your ears, and a smallish chain, very fine chain, like to match the band, but they've taken the stone and they've cut it to the shape of each ear is like a wing, and they're like blue wings. It is what they've done with another bit of the platinum. They've like banded it over, and they've actually included a little like red gem to make it look like, and which has been cut to look like a broken egg. So it looks like the wing is coming out of an egg. And then you have the platinum band, and also you are Breton, you are given a platinum band with a matching blue gemstone.
You ordered red.
Blue with, sorry?
No, he ordered a ruby gemstone.
Oh, sorry, a ruby gemstone. My mistake.
Thank you.
It is always our pleasure. The little gnome that is running this establishment, like, is there anything else?
No, this will suffice for me, but if you are more curious.
I think this will do.
Okay.
It's just gonna like take the gauntlets off, the glove off, and just make sure it fits his massive finger. Nod.
Less of a ring and more of a tire.
This definitely could be like an anklet on some people. But
make sure you're wearing this at all times, Soul.
What's it for?
Safety.
Should look at it.
I think I've worked out what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One ends up with similar.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, I need to cut. Like, I know I don't normally break away to look at chat for this, but we just got followed by someone the Nat 30s, which is very on brand for Zep. So, just timing. Okay, but fantastic.
We should probably go back to the ship.
You all
We should.
You all can regather at the ship. Those of you who are at Arte.
Oh, Breton, if it's okay, I'd like to learn how to swing a sword at some point.
Well, that is something that would not be difficult to teach you.
I don't have your strength, but I'd like to learn.
You don't need just strength to swing a sword. I'm sure we can find something that is more appropriate for what you're looking to use.
Thank you. I saw some swords in the shop, and I liked one that was smaller and thinner, but it had a flat edge. Good for cutting, I think.
There are lots of different blades that could fit that description, but
I think it was called a scimitar.
those are not as commonly used here. I'm surprised there was a shop selling it, but they're sabers.
Yes.
Some marshalmen use them as well.
Yes.
We can spend some time trying to figure that out.
Oh, I need to go find Siraj. I'll be right back. She will trot off.
Says, I'll be right back. And the Breton gives her like maybe a 30-second head start and then just follows her.
Sure.
She's gonna go try to find Siraj.
Okay. Are you trying to find her at the ship or just in Arte?
On the ship.
Okay. Well, you all do arrive back. Darius, is there anything you want to do actually, on arrival back at the ship, or
arrival back on the ship,
or beforehand?
Well, see, I have this other shopping list.
this other double shopping list. No, I shopped last time. So when we leave, I wanted to know, does it look like the disturbance that was caused by the people that we paid? How did that go? Or is there just a lot of arrested people just waiting to be picked up by the rest of the guard force, or is it?
No, actually, as you move to leave the city, you look down an alleyway and sat upon a barrel. As one guy has got ice in a napkin, the other one's just patting him, and they've both got a bottle of wine each, and they're just giggling. So it's just
not the best way of spending that, but all right.
I would like to picture that Claudia and I are slinking through the city, super sneaky. Darius is just walking.
Okay,
with
yeah,
just following you.
Yeah, roll for slapstick sneaking.
Okay.
Oh, I need to roll for Claudia. Hold on.
Is that going to be a disadvantage or?
No, not with you.
Cool. I got a 19.
She got a dirty 20.
All right, I'm just gonna.
She's better than you.
What's your passive perception, Darius?
Would it be passive though? Because I'm actively trying to keep an eye on my sister from.
What's your passive, and then that'll decide.
The passive is 15.
Okay.
We'll add 5 to it because you have advantage on checks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I could roll.
Yeah. So you don't need to roll.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, just keeping an eye on them. I guess I'll stay 10 feet back just so I don't cramp their style, because I am very noticeable.
Sure.
with just there's just a lot of shlinking of chain and it's metal as I'm walking. But yeah, no, other than that, just kind of keeping an eye on those two, making sure that they don't get in too much trouble. They need supervision.
Okay.
Just that, man. Unless Siraj had something she wanted to do.
No, I just want to slink comically through the streets.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
You guys make it back. Okay, so those of you who are on the ship, Sol, you can find Zedaar should you wish to.
Miss Siraj.
Yes.
Hi. I'm sorry for not being what you thought I should be. I don't know much about you, but I feel like I do. And something feels like I owed you an apology or a thank you. I'm not really sure what it is. But I felt compelled to get you these. And she'll show her the earrings that she had commissioned.
These are very beautiful. And I immediately I don't even have ear holes like for piercings, and I just clamp them. I just do it right there. I just bop. It hurts a little bit, but you know what?
Those are cat's ears too. They do not have a numb spot.
Oh,
no,
that hurts.
It's just full of veins. It's full.
You're just bleeding profusely now, and it hurts like hell.
Yep.
I'll take damage for it. I don't care. I'll take damage.
Well, what Sol will do is you do that, she'll immediately take her hands up and just start gently rubbing them, which feels like it should hurt, but it's like a mist as she will heal the spots. Like getting your ear squidged for a cat.
It's yeah, they're you are like you did it, and because it's like platinum, it just goes through, and you're like, I've made a huge mistake. And then noticing this, soul instantly goes for your ears, and there's like it goes it's like the you were about to like scream, and then it like just turns into, oh no, this is okay. And
I think Ruby wanted to say thank you.
Well, I loved Ruby very much. I grew to trust her, and you do not need to apologize or to thank me for anything. You are exactly who you are supposed to be. I do not blame you for not being her. I understand, but I am sorry for not trusting you. I am wary of strangers.
Well, hopefully I won't always be a stranger.
I think that we should fix this. If you would like, I think we shall bring Claudia, and we should have a sleepover in my room tonight. I am afraid of flying, so I don't really want to go out on the deck of the ship when we are in the air. It's very scary out there, but we can, hang out, and we can, tell stories and paint our nails. And I kind of like unsheath all my claws.
She looks at her unpainted nails. I don't know any stories, but I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Great. As long as you are making all the food.
Should I bring snacks?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. There's these dried bread chips with kind of a chickpea concoction that Ruby was experimenting with. I think she called it hummus.
Oh, this is very good. And I'll make sure that Claudia is aware of this as well, and be like in my room, like waiting, basically. I'm gonna have like stuffed animals. I don't even know where I got stuffed animals from. Zep, can you make me stuffed animals?
Build-A-Bear.
Yes.
Make him roll for it. He rolls stuffed animal in the multiverse.
Yeah.
When I shake my head, do the earrings jangle?
I don't think so. I think they're very...
if you had another earring for them to like go against, probably, but not on their own.
Well, I definitely walk around the ship the rest of the time, jangling my head around, because I'm excited at how they dangle from my ears.
Sure. Okay.
Noise tells us where she is sometimes, so we can keep track.
Smile. Okay. Breton's probably wondering where I got to, so I gotta...
And Breton just kind of slinks back around the corner.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
I was never here. Okay, fantastic. So, the ship begins to fly back to the monastery. Somebody on board, roll me a d10.
Oh no.
A sky
not done this
encounter
very
without
often.
me.
9.
9.
That's a 6.
I just straight dropped mine. Why didn't it show up? God damn it.
You gotta put it in the box.
I did. I dropped it directly down in the box and it didn't show up. Whatever.
Okay. You get about 2 days into your journey when you see what looks to be like a small balloon craft. Floating probably about 4,000 feet away.
Flags, red flags, red flags.
Leave it.
We know what happened the last time we fucked with something that was flying through the air.
It's in character, Darius. It's on. No, pass it. We're going. We're leaving.
Are you?
Soul's not in charge to go do anything anymore, so.
So yeah. You see? Okay, if no one's interacting with it, you see.
Who's in charge?
Yeah, my laptop just lost internet connection apparently.
Yeah,
Sorry?
he's got kicked out early.
Is there any reference we would have for balloon craft in the Naruto?
I mean, our ship is being held aloft by a giant balloon.
Yeah.
Balloons.
It depends on whether anyone tells Zeb. Zeb's probably in his, well, is definitely in his workshop.
Yeah, Zeb
working on the
hasn't
laser.
seen this right now, so.
Oh, Darius will tell, because in Darius's mind, Zep, Darius, Braun, and Valmir are the most senior of the group, and technically the only ones left that are still on the charter for the actual adventuring party. So he goes
Very
and
good
tells
point.
Zep.
This would definitely get Zeb's interest, so Zeb will go above and take a look.
Okay, Zep. You after a little bit, you do see it. Seems to be a small balloon craft, single-ish person. Doesn't look like it's armed in any way, but it's like small chamber held by 2 balloons and a propeller on it. With what seems to be flapping wings on the side as well.
It's a junk from Kaitang.
Yeah, adjust course. Let's go and take a look.
Fancy ground
It's a
back up, by
balloon,
the
of
way.
course Zeb's going to be
Okay,
interested.
adjusting course.
Unfortunately, it's a deadlock if Valmir sides with Darius anyways. 'Cause it's only
Valmir's not here, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not there.
Oh yeah, so yeah, because Braun's gonna vote with Zep, so it's I'm outvoted.
Okay.
I'm not able to reconnect to the.
It took a
Wait a
second.
minute.
Yeah,
It
you
takes a
should be able
second.
to now. But okay, you pull up a small wooden craft that is giving the most awkward sort of like creaking sound as you get close, like audible as like the wings are going up and down. The wings don't seem to be doing anything other than like, you know, that they are there almost for show, or whoever's piloting this vessel believes they do something. And it's like the balloons are like patchwork leather. It's not like one canvas or anything. It is like they are like, this is a very rough and ready skycraft.
Can I make out what kind of design it is? Like, is this Lederung's land, or is this...
You've never seen this design in your life.
Oh, it's a poorly put together kit car.
It's the kind of thing a student would make.
What student would make a sky ship, Zep?
Zepwood.
Retract.
I studied aeronautical engineering at university. That would be me.
Really? That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it is all about how to make things fly. Like this.
Oh. Do they not just cast spells there?
Spells are a small part of the science and technology that we can employ.
As you get closer, anyone who is on the deck, feel free to make a perception check.
Absolutely. As soon as I get my character sheet open again.
1.
It's a
That-
sky.
For a total of 6, but.
Darius, you just about see this. And Braun also sees this.
Where's Gourd?
Through the window of the vessel, you see Gourd's still at the temple. You stayed behind with Valmir. You see through the window what looks to be like 4 individuals, like sat on chairs, pedaling. And another one with what looks to be like in front of them, like at the helm, like at the viewing window, with like a poorly sewn together hat and cape, just looking out, holding a position. And as you get closer as well, this isn't going in a straight direction. It's like ever so slightly turning, even though it's going forward, kind of like. And the longer you look at this thing is kind of just going up, but in circles. Like very subtle circles. Like they haven't really got steering down properly yet, or if they have, their navigation isn't astute enough to know that they're not slowly turning.
Mm-hmm.
And the final thing you pick up, they don't look very old.
Okay, so I am going to get my tools out of my pocket and I'm going to fiddle with them a little bit to give myself the thaumaturgy cantrip. And then I will shout through this loudspeaker, "Hello, the other ship!"
Suddenly, police boom.
Darius, because I'm gonna keep your eyes on this. The individual that like is looking out the porthole and looks around and looks at the window, like rubs the window, some like little bit of dirt comes off, and he goes, "Pulls through," and he goes, "Oh," and then you see him like put up a ladder and open a hatch on the top to where the balloons connect, and this comes out as like what you see now standing on top of the middle section of the chamber section of this craft is probably a 17-year-old human with like very patchwork ginger beard, scruggly ginger hair with a like poorly sewn together tricorn cape, leather armor, and then like a bandolier of what looks to be liquids. They are like, there is no meat to the bone. They are. Yeah, and they said, how far away are you guys now at this point? Like, how close do you want to try and get?
Not too close, because I'm not trying to terrify them, but also the sheer scale difference here is probably pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
Close enough that thaumaturgy would let them hear.
Yeah, okay.
Question, I would have heard that, right, from my room?
Yes, absolutely.
Alright, I'll make my way up as well.
Cool.
Hello? My name is Captain Pascal. What do you want?
I am Captain Zep Skyspan. This is the Skyfire. What brings you out here?
Greetings, Captain Skyspan. This is the Blue Yonder. You are witnessing our maiden voyage.
It is a magnificent maiden voyage. I remember my own very well. Is this a craft you have designed and built?
Yes, I designed it myself, and my trusty crew are helping me pilot it. We are a reconnaissance vessel.
Would you mind if I come aboard? I may have some suggestions for you.
By all means, come aboard. However, we haven't worked out how to offer in place yet.
We could attach you to this ship and keep you afloat this way.
That would suffice. Thank you for your assistance.
And I will come up with some Zep-like way to keep them in position, like a mooring, I guess.
Stuck and they
I have
can't
a
get
bow
down.
with a
We
rope
could
we
just
could do.
throw a lasso.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I can cast levitate, so I can just float over.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I mean,
Put my
what's
bow
the
away.
what's the weight max for levitate?
So
500.
500.
We're on the ship.
You can probably make their ship levitate and keep it in place.
Okay, so We'll fly above their ship, and I guess I'll just jump down, or I'll jump down with Brawn,
Yeah, sure.
and then I'll use my levitate thing under their ship to hold it in position.
Sure, you can do that. And what you see is essentially an oversized treehouse kind of thing, like in terms of construction, with essentially a line of bicycles attached to like belts and chains, maneuvering a lot of the like the propeller and the wings, and then the balloons seem to be filled with some sort of gas. There doesn't seem to be much magical about it. There's some subtle, very, very subtle, like early artifice magic, but it's like very light enchantments. Like the enchantments are like essentially like residues of like mending and things like that. Like, yeah, early years. And if you go inside, you meet the crew as well. There is like 2 more humans. One, I can't remember what they're called. But one deer folk. And servants. That's what they're called. One servant and a halfling. The other 4 are currently all peddling. But when you tell them about the levitate, they stop and they don't need to pedal anymore.
Greetings, Captain Pascal. Thank you for your invitation to come aboard.
Oh, no, by all means, Captain Skyspan. This is my crew. And they are all as young and scraggly as this individual, as well. What you do notice as well, though, inside in like the viewing deck, there is like, it seems to be a telescope on a stand. This is probably the most expensive thing in this whole setup. It is probably worth the entire Sky vessel's like worth in gold, because it looks to be a working telescopic lens.
So are you here from Nardathel or the Iranians?
Oh, we set off from
Yeah, what is your home port?
we set off from Belvelize, in Offray, and me and my trusty crew are beginning our first. Well, we were meant to be heading towards the coastline, but unfortunately, we may have dropped our map off of the side. When we got high enough, it kind of flew out the window, which we forgot to close. But we are still our maiden voyage is going successfully. We are maneuvering still, and whilst the reconnaissance data is not going to be as useful, we are doing okay.
I can probably provide you with a new chart if needed. We are fully supplied with them and have at least one cartographer on board.
The kids' like eyes like light up. That would be yeah, that would be brilliant. And we would owe you a debt of honor. We could share you some of our rations. And you look behind, and there is essentially like what looks to be a number of like brown parcels, like nicely wrapped. Look like pretty good, like ration packed, or like student lunches.
We appreciate your offer, but this is a time of war. You will need those supplies for yourself. If I can make one suggestion, the wings you have outside on your vessel would probably be better suited to turning and what's it called? Aeronautical terms. Turning rather than flapping.
Pitch versus yaw.
Thank you. That's what Zep says. If you fix them in position, you will be able to use aeronautical forces of the wind around them to make you turn more effectively.
He thinks for a bit.
And I'll actually, Zep carries paper always, like, pull out a piece of paper and kind of sketch what I mean in rough Zep fashion.
And this kid is just like in awe. It's just like,
Are we all there?
only if you want to, but only Braun and Zep said they were going over.
Oh, I thought they came over to our ship. Okay.
No.
Well, there's enough room for us on their ship.
Probably not. That's why I was about to be like, okay, this changes things. Levitate can also only hold up so many people. This is fantastic. Thank you very much. We will endeavor to make the Blue Yonder a fine craft, and you will ever be indebted to myself and the crew. Other way around. We'll be indebted to you.
You remind me of my first attempts at flight as well. It is a good memory. If you wish to come aboard and see one of Lederungland's finest, you are more than welcome. I would be happy to show you our own facilities.
All of the youths just kind of like, because they've stopped pedaling now, and one of them's actually like eating one of the ration packs, and it's like they like all turn to like there was like a nervous energy in the entire room, but all of them just like oh yeah, and yeah, you can help them across and you can give them a tour of the ship.
I will. I'm also going to write a letter of recommendation for Pascal to the Lederungland, what was it called? The Russian Institute. The top university.
Yeah, okay. Sure thing. Are you going to do that on the sly, or are you going to openly do that?
I'll do it on the sly, and then just force forwarding here. When they leave, I'll just kind of give it to him before he leaves.
Okay. Well, you may give...
to insight check them as they board the ship.
Sure, you can give me an insight check.
I would also introduce them to the rest of the crew as we arrive.
Were they lost?
15.
What you insight is these, they're, a well-meaning group of young individuals who have decided to take it upon themselves to build a sky vessel and help out in some way that is kind of non-combatant, but it's a load of 17-year-olds in medieval times with a bit of knowledge, bit of money, and a lot of time on their hands, and inspired by a war. So they, as well as the various skyships that fly over Othray, they've decided to build their own because Othray doesn't have any.
They're not spies.
They're
That's what I was trying to...
They're spies, but they're not anti-Othray. They are clearly kids. Yeah, this is what's the TV show I'm thinking of? But have you ever seen Codename Kids Next Door? This is a really
Yes.
yeah, it's that. It's that, like, except like 17-year-olds. It's Codename Kids Next Door kind of thing. Like, yeah. But you show them around the ship. They are like, this is like Christmas to them. They are like just in awe as they wander around, and you introduce them to everybody, and anybody may interact with them should they wish.
This is Zaraj, this is Sol, and this is whoever else is still on this ship.
Were you lost?
No, we knew. Make an insight check. We were committing our maiden voyage. Whilst it didn't go to plan, it was... Yeah, they're very much lost.
Because I'm not much of a cartographer, but I know that the sun, and she'll point, is actually very good at telling what direction you're facing. It rises in the west to east here, I believe. So if you know what time of day it is, you could tell which direction is north.
Oh, yeah, it's more like thank you for your advice.
Also, the position of the sun will tell you the time of day. I'm like trying to like stand behind Soul. Like, yeah, I know a little bit about this too.
Well, if you're trying to get back to Bellevue, it'd be go north and then turn east, because it's on the coast.
If you need a map, I can draw you one of the area around here, so you're not so lost.
It's just like
Right,
so,
Darius, you're still here. Sorry.
you've got
It's like, and everyone else is like,
A cartographer.
yeah. There are
Like I
4
said, there's more than
cartographers on
one.
this ship.
Soul's not even a cartographer. She's just general common sense.
I have promised them the use of some of our charts so that they may replenish their own stock.
Well, that's
And
very
I will
nice of
speak
you.
to our own cartographer to have a copy made.
Yeah, the cartographer can have that done. They can do that pretty quickly. As per their stat bonus that I gave you.
The other suggestion I would have for you is from the sky you can see a great distance, and I saw that you have the telescope to use, which is something we must also make. That is a good idea. But if you get some homing pigeons from somebody in military command, you could be sending messages back without having to land. And then you could tell where enemy vessels and troop movements are.
Well, currently we are a free agency until we muster enough information and proof of concept that we may approach the powers that be. So, but that's a very good idea. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to do with these individuals, or would you like to set them up on their way?
Do you all need some more food?
The halfling that's with them just kind of goes, "Oh, yeah, that'd be great."
Okay. I'll be right back.
And Soul will go down to the kitchens and provide them 3 ration packs of her own, or at least probably the Ruby prepared, called Gurdats.
Okay. They happily accept. And then,
I would like to ask Breton, do you think that we should be telling these children to go into a active war zone in their shoddy made aircraft, or is this kind of dangerous?
Well, strictly speaking, at their age, they are ripe for enlistment. I wouldn't profess them doing so privately, as they're more likely to get shot down by allies who don't know who they are, what they're doing, as they are by the enemies. And I don't know much about these aeronautical vessels, but I don't think I would trust that one as far as I could throw it. And I do believe I could actually throw it.
Most likely could, but all great inventions start with a simple prototype. I'm excited to see what these youngsters can come up with. They have many years ahead of them still.
All the more reason for them to focus on that and not focus on going straight to war.
Not many years if they keep doing stuff like this. And I'm looking at this horrid contraption they've trapped themselves in above the earth.
Yeah, I put a picture on our handouts what I think it looks like.
Does this vessel have anything to prevent falling? Would that be something that perhaps you could spare to them? Just in case this goes poorly for them. Because they don't seem to have made a lot of accommodations for emergency maneuvers, and if they fall out of the sky, well, that's a long way down.
A few things that they could do to reduce this chance happening. The first would be to deploy a large sheet of cloth over the top of their vessel to reduce the speed of their descent in case of emergency.
We have one for our ship?
No, our ship is too big.
Yeah, oh no, we go straight down.
Not straight down. We have engines. We can still maintain horizontal flight, which will allow us to address our vertical descent.
That's a form of comforting, I suppose.
Not
We weren't
really.
here for the big storm that we went through. Almost straight down.
Okay.
Almost.
Noted.
Almost. Yeah, that's right. We saved it right at the end.
Do these children need some funds so that they may purchase better equipment, or I don't know, a one contiguous bolt of cloth or whatever the thing is made out of?
I just resupplied our own stock. We may have some ourselves.
Okay.
Pretty sure they didn't buy any of this anyways. I think that's part of a still.
It 100% is part of a still.
I will remind you, our own engines were built from a steel.
That's also true.
That's not the problem here. The fact is they're children. That's the problem.
They are 17. They are.
Children.
I mean, you are levied
By
into the
medieval
Iranian
standards.
army at 14, so they are. Whilst
Yeah,
that's not
they are.
necessarily. I mean, if you're a page, you're probably at war at that age.
A page is from 7 to 14.
Yeah.
That's what a page. That's the age.
Sorry,
of a page.
squire.
A squire. Yeah.
So the only reason these guys are not on a front line, are getting ready for a front line right now, is because they have rich parents.
And all the more reason I consider them children because they have no skills. That's what I'm assuming. Like,
Not this. They clearly have some
no,
skill.
got this, yes, but no, like, you know.
This is what got Zeb's attention.
They have a calling. They need to follow it.
Not every soldier has to fight. Sometimes you can provide knowledge.
And very often that is the more valuable position.
Also, it's not like we're not armed. We have means of attack.
I'll just kind of look at him with that.
Curiosity.
I'm trying to defend you here.
Explain your means of attack.
Well,
Please, I need to know this.
most of them are on board, but he produces from one of his things what looks to be a glass vial, but big and round, filled with like a violent yellow color liquid.
Is that acid?
No.
Is it urine?
That's definitely not urine. That looks more viscous than urine.
You will find weapons like that are much more difficult to provide precise support with. You would be better equipped with bows. Then you could also target other flying creatures.
I want confirmation on what's in that. before
We don't just
recommendations.
drop them. We also have, well, on the top, you might have seen. Actually, no, it's not up there. Yeah, we've got a slingshot. They've got a slingshot. Yeah,
Oh,
we got a slingshot,
No.
but it's a big one.
No.
look. Okay,
We built it out. We built
gonna-
it out of some old like belts.
I'm gonna give them 299 gold, and
Oh,
I'm gonna just.
They come from rich parents. Why are you giving them gold?
I mean, 299 gold is still a lot of money.
Siraj
Siraj's
cares
money is
about-
in Ruby's safe.
No, I got more money from the king.
Okay.
I have to care about the common people. That's the only thing I care about, and these children are just.
Yeah, I don't
Definitely
think
not
they're the common.
commoners.
Yeah, I don't think these are the common people though.
doesn't-
These are.
They are
They're
children.
not nobles. They're definitely not
They're
nobles.
children now. Before they're
I give them the
17.
gold. I give it to the dear person.
Okay, the
And
servant.
I say, this is so that you may better arm yourselves. Just be careful.
I'm more concerned that they have attack that they are set upon by a fast-moving aerial creature. Like, do any of you have any practical experience in any form of weaponry? A sling.
Can I assess
Bowmanship.
as a battle master? Can I assess the combat capabilities? I've interacted with them for a minute.
You may.
How many fighter levels do any of them have?
None.
All right. Yep. Yep. That makes sense.
What you're looking at is essentially 3 commoners, a level 1 artificer, and well, one has 1 level in something.
Right.
Else, yeah.
Villages have been burned down, but less. So.
If there's an angry griffin that just decides that you're encroaching on its territory, it'll tear that balloon to shreds, and there's nothing you can do about it.
True.
No,
but
not that
we
we're
are
trying to discourage you from whatever this is.
the sky lanes around Othray are pretty well serviced.
Just avoid the mountains as best you can.
The mountains
We ran
are
into like
far
a
from here.
storm monster.
Again, because you were flying away from the trade lanes.
Okay.
We like
Just
met
to
a
confirm.
god.
Sorry, what?
You should probably stick lower to the ground until you work out the kinks and this.
Well,
Also, maybe invest in some bows.
Zeb, give me a quick like artificer lore on the projectile that they have.
Do I reach these kids?
15.
Okay, so you can get it with this. This seems to be some sort of, it is like an acid, but it's not like it's not one that you'd like burn through things with. It's only when you notice that the balls of like glass are double layered, and actually between the 2 layers of glass is like a fine powder. And you think that when both glass layers break, the powder reacts with the liquid and something happens.
We need to confiscate this. They can't be allowed to have this.
Hey, friggin' bombs, dude.
How are you storing this?
We have a padded chest. Quite safe.
18-year-olds.
I feel like our vessel would make better use of those things than yours. Your real advantage here is your ability to spot enemy vessels and then relay that information back. You are not a fighting ship.
These are personal defense. The slingshot doesn't throw them that far.
Yep.
Just
And,
give me a moment. I'm going to, with your permission, Zeph, does this ship have any weapons or stocks, like some small crossbows that would be suited for them to defend themselves and shoot down anything that might harass them?
Yes.
Invested in a lot of crossbows because I trained every single person on this ship.
You made a lot of
Brainstorm.
short bows, yes. You made like
Yes.
loads and loads of short bows, if I remember correctly. Or was it crossbow?
Anybody can learn.
I think it was short
Anybody
bows.
can learn. Yeah. Well, anybody can learn to pick up a light crossbow. Something so they have at least something to defend themselves should they get beset upon by harpies. Even they don't venture far, but if they just run into something, it's going to be nasty.
I'm 50-50 and letting this play itself out.
We got invested already. We need to follow through.
Okay, you can
Not to
ease.
give them any chance for success.
I invested
Okay,
no
you
money in
can
this.
you can give them arrows and bows enough each, and they like.
How's Claudia reacting to us like,
Claudia's not here.
oh,
The other thing, because I'm aware that levitate only lasts a certain amount of time, we would tie it to our ship so it doesn't just go.
Yeah, I assumed that the levitate was for you to get enough time to tow this, and you begin flying to make it so it doesn't start sinking. You're gonna what's it called? It's like ever seen like an AC-130 pulling like freight behind it kind of thing? So it's like. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm
So-
asking this out of character because I don't know. Where are we trying to get to?
You're heading back to
the
the
monastery.
monastery where Valmir and Gourd are.
Do we have a
Need to get the
time
rest of the party.
sensitive thing on that?
No, because you're in downtime right now. It's whenever you guys feel like, because then you're going to go to the capital possibly for a bit. Like you're in downtime, and then Zedaar, when you go to the capital, Zedaar is then going to make his way to
Legrand's land.
Legrand's land from then. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
he
would
has
like
been
to spend.
putting it off.
I would like to spend an evening with them, if possible, to maybe make some suggestions for changes and improvements.
You can do that. Yeah.
There's also a mention of, just to clarify, there was also a mention of going to Retberry
Yes. Oh, there was that. That was planned last
Because
Pick
time.
up
we-
the party.
because we realized that.
That's
yeah,
a
after
discussion that
picking up
needs
the
to be
party-
had with people.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I think Zep would have been aware of that because we were talking about it. Since we learned that since the Empire is technically using Retberry as a port, we may be able to find access to the full contraption that they were looking for there, on shore, rather than having to attack it at water.
We could be snuck in by my guild of
We have
very
contacts
upstanding.
and connections.
Yeah, we do.
um,
Yeah, so I will invite them to join us for dinner, and I will take Pascal aside and work with him through some
Sure.
designs.
sure. Do you want to look at his weaponry? What the glass does?
I believe that Breton did.
Oh, Breton's. Are you gonna test one of these devices?
I was not going to test one, no.
Okay.
We're on a wooden ship.
I was just curious what kind of weapons they had to defend themselves. Like, these guys don't even have crossbows. They need something that they could shoot down, like, flying creatures.
Yeah, that probably would check it.
Okay. Give me an artifice check as to do this safely.
I was gonna say we're on a wooden ship again. Reiterating.
22, less
Okay.
Flash of Genius at 27.
Okay. The 22 would have sufficed, but what happens when the powder meets the liquid is it begins to like foam and then solidify and gets really heavy. It's like almost like a quick forming foam cement.
Interesting. Okay, this functions more differently than I expected. You could use this more precisely, and because of the kinetic forces employed as it drops.
Well, the way we had it working, because we had some issues with some flying creatures before. Once it breaks, it sticks to them as a foam and then weighs them down and they tumble. Also, it's really good for gumming things up. We practiced on a rowboat and it took only like 2 of them to sink it.
You are going to do very well in this field, my friend. It is quite an ingenious method of fighting. I cannot say I disapprove.
Foundations for buildings with this. Make the money. Go into construction.
Just promise me one thing. If you do use this in military service, never deploy incendiary or fire devices from it. But I will do what I can to help you in exchange for this promise.
Oh, we were in a completely wooden vessel. I would not want to put fire anywhere near it, but I'd take it on board.
Okay. Come, follow me to my workshop. We have work to do.
Okay. You may work with Pascal.
And before we go, I would ask Sol if she is willing to put on a dinner for the rest of the crew.
Oh, sure.
A dinner was promised, and you are the best cook of us all.
Okay. Gladly.
Thank you.
And
Oh.
Sol will go downstairs and start preparing a corn chowder.
Okay.
Oh, just chiming in. Do these kids have parents? We have to tell them that we have.
They all apparently have parents.
I would presume that they do, in fact, have parents, yes.
Or at least once had them.
That's what I'm saying. Do they currently have parents, and are they going to be worried that their children just don't show up?
Who are you asking? Which one are you
know,
asking?
It occurs, we didn't actually ask where they're from. We don't know how far from home they are.
You did. They're from Belvalise, but they are like, considering you're like east of Arte, they are from the furthest west of this country. pretty much on the coast. They are far.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna generally ask before they break up. I'm just gonna generally ask them all. And I'm going to like observe them. I'm gonna make sure they're not lying to me. Yeah, do you have parents? And are they going to like care that you're here right now and not with them?
Okay, well, most of our Pascal goes, I am the humble son of a tailor. Martin, pointing to the servant. Martin lives alone. He's got his accommodation in the city. Humphrey, the halfling. His dad runs the butchers. But they know where we're going out.
How long ago did you go out?
5 days.
All right. Okay. We're gonna go pick up the rest of the party, and we're gonna take you back to your parents. I think it's the end goal here.
Okay. You guys.
I think that's the plan.
Okay, that's what Darius is going to push for. Sure. So
yeah, I'm not gonna let them just.
You tow these individuals, and I'll let you guys spend some time with them and get to know them. You've got and you tow them back to the monastery as well. And Zep, you can work with Pascal and Ruby, and they also begin to help the crew and learn things as well in their extra time with you. And after a little bit of hesitancy and convincing, they do accept, okay, maybe we should go home and this will be the fastest way rather than we making our own way. So they're fine with it. Valmir, you see the ship return with an extra ship behind it.
They're getting a crash course in how to use crossbows, by the way.
And it's
Sure.
a AAA, that's what we are.
They're getting morning training, and if Darius decides he's going to step in because he's done it for the crew as well, it's they are going to learn how to aim and load a crossbow properly.
I have no expectations, but I'm sure I'll be disappointed with them.
Cool. They're not great, but they learn eventually.
Try to convince them not to go home.
I was actually.
What the fuck are you doing?
You want to convince them to not go
Run away
home.
from home.
Well, I just outfitted them with money to make their
Sure.
equipment better, and I like what they're doing.
If
Okay.
we are.
You
if we
may.
are
We'll get
able
back to that.
Yeah, I would also like to chime in when we get back to that.
Oh, okay. Sure. But Valmir, you may return to the party, finding that they have helped some teenagers.
Where did you pick up these strays?
In the sky.
In the sky.
That went real well for us last time. We found something in the sky.
I
You
voted
sure?
against it. But
What happened
I was
last time?
overruled.
We almost all died.
Oh.
Yeah, there
Teenagers.
was mention of a giant in the sky. So this is a regular occurrence where this vessel runs into things in the sky that are potentially hazardous.
Well, I guess this would be the second time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not a lot, but I mean, it's
It's
still.
making this be time number 4 they've run into something that
Roll
could be
the dice,
dangerous.
honestly, just to roll the dice.
And
Because there was a dragon, there was a storm giant, there was the earth mode.
did I point out that being on the ground is no less dangerous for us?
But you do run into far less things up in the sky.
We had like 2 or 3 random encounters and traveled halfway across the continent in that time. So technically, it is much more dangerous in the sky.
But that's true.
You know, you did
These
run
are-
into a pixie-led workers' revolution that you utterly obliterated on your travels.
I'm not criticizing the form of travel. I'm just saying it is more dangerous than I would have given credit for. I didn't expect that much to be in the air. Like I mentioned the dangers of hippogriffs and griffins and harpies and such like that, flying creatures, dragons, I suppose, depending on what region you're in. But I didn't expect that much in the way of intelligent antithesis.
Feel that due to our size, things are drawn towards us. But yeah, we found these youngsters creating their own flying vessel, much like I did when I was younger.
That's kind of. Do I see the flying vessel as well?
Yeah. This is the one that's being towed by your ship.
It never ceases to amaze me that this. I grew up in a cave. This is very strange and wondrous.
I find myself inclined to assist them if we can. As you have pointed out many times, it is dangerous to be in the skies. They have not many safety devices, and I feel that perhaps we could teach them.
I think that's a fantastic idea, but first, I have some information that I would like to share that I have learned while you have all been rescuing teenagers from the sky.
Is it that you have been exercising? Because your muscles look very good.
Valmir cannot prevent the smile on his face.
Let's for a second, you're gonna say Valmir cannot exercise. And it's like, that's a mood.
Yeah, he can't help but smile at that. Are these teenagers anywhere close? Like, where would I have met them on the deck of the ship?
There's some that are, like, one or two of them are still practicing with their crossbows. The other, Pascal, is definitely in Zeb's workshop, probably tinkering on something or other. Like, they're around.
I'm gonna say, let's go somewhere a little bit more private, and I don't know, bring them to the kitchen or something. The kitchen seems to be our meeting place recently.
You can meet in your mess. The kitchen's easy, and shut the door and keep the kids out.
Zeb, do you have that note that you were sent by the Duke? Yeah. Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, of course. I'll hand it over.
So I'm going to point to the line that talks about the heart of Elendor, or it could be the helm of Elendor, translation issues, and I'm going to say, as I was in the monastery, I took one night I went into the library to do a little bit of reading, and I couldn't bring the book because it was about half the size of me, but I learned that there was another mention of this heart of Elendor, but it was spelled differently. It was spelled H-A-R-T, like a male deer.
Stag.
Like a stag, yes. It was worn by the hero. It's a beacon of inspiration for all who fought with him. Warded off evil, gave great protection to those around him. And he wore it in the final battle, but it was broken when he fought against Nerul. But it was remade as part of the Great Summit. So there's, I guess, two halves to the helm, to the heart. It's
Perhaps it is an artifact.
Well, there are helmets that are stylized after. There's a mistranslation here. It's not sure if it's heart or helm.
But
And
why
you've
not both?
established that,
it
that
could
harm.
be both.
So that's what I was going to think. If it is a heart, a stag's helm, it's a helmet,
Very well could be.
potentially. A helmet of a heart.
It did say that it was worn by the hero, so you wear a helmet.
Stag
The
helm.
antlers. 1 antler, 2 antlers.
On a helmet.
It's popular among knights. A wolf's head, dragon's heads, things that make you appear intimidating, ferocious, or represent your house. Brett, can he think hard about? Is there any connections of knights and such to stag helms?
Or are there any
Older
noble
the better.
houses?
History or religion? Basically, is what he's asking. If he can make this connection with those.
Are there any noble houses that still use the stag's antlers?
Sure. Give me a history check.
Rathian.
11.
Like you say, there's a lot of houses that like have stylized helms, especially like tournament circumstances, where it's like all sorts of augmentation are done to the dress. And
Unironically, it's the guy that you pantsed.
like stags are like a symbol of like royalty in some places, and as well as leadership, etc. You know.
Unfortunately, I was trying to think if there's any old originators of the style, but I can't recall. It wouldn't do as much good to look for them now. It's sort of a popular iconography. You throw a stone in certain cities and you'll hit a house that uses the stag for its symbology.
But considering
It is
this belongs to the hero in some way, you may, with your knowledge, you may actually perceive, wow, actually, maybe the fact that stags are a symbol of like royalty and such may even derive from this.
That's what I was thinking. Because this originated the tradition of it being such a regal thing. It might be worth time to looking into some books of where the tradition started from. That might point you in the direction of where the helmet came from originally. That might be some information to look into. And I did say that the Chevalier Argent has been responsible for keeping an eye on, keeping safe one of these seals. So, meeting with the Chevalier Council and getting what information we can from them, or speaking to them to see what they're willing to disclose, might help you in the endeavor of understanding what these seals are, where they're from, and if there's anything that is endangering them, or how might they be kept better safe.
Could they have a helmet? Could that be the seal that they have, or do you know what they have?
I do not know what they have. I imagine anything they would be keeping safe, they probably wouldn't allow to be public knowledge. Better to keep it safe.
Makes sense.
Was it the king's sister that was a chevalier as well?
No, you've met. Okay. You have met one of the saints of the Chevaliant, technically.
Onion Knight.
The
right?
Onion Knight, yeah. But no, the thing is, the Chevaliant is the religion of Nardathel. It is like, and it is basically, they don't believe in gods. They believe in people wanting to. So they believe in like living by the ideals of heroic figures, and then they have like a series of, I think it's now 53, 52 saints that have like, they're like old ancient knights, etc., that you know, have various virtues behind them, which they try to live up to. And like the ultimate goal of someone who believes in the Chevaliant as a religion is to almost become a saint in some way, because they will like say, okay, they have lived a pious and chivalrous life.
Is the monastery that we're at, that's the religion, is the Chevaliant monastery?
This monastery is a Chevaliant monastery, yes.
Didn't want to give my girl Ruby no sainthood.
Wouldn't be in their power, but you are due to meet someone who it would be. Remember, you wanted to go meet
No,
the.
someone's
No,
alive.
Ruby. I'm talking about
said.
Ruby.
Oh.
I tried to get her to be a. That's okay.
Ruby is not a saint.
Yes, you were meant to be going to meet the Archknight of the Chevaliant, who is the head of that church.
Are there any symbols of a stag at the monastery?
Did I? Can I like roll a history check see if I saw any?
History or investigation, or like to recall date information.
This is the moment where you realize that, like, going to the library every day, there's just this incredible knight with a stag's head on his head. You're like, how did I not see this before?
I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm oblivious.
Never mind.
Oblivious. I didn't see shit.
Nah, you didn't see shit.
No stags at all. Like just a total absence of anything stag related. Looks behind me. Other than that one.
You'd think they'd be offended, but you're offended by antlers.
Yeah, no stags. Just some deer.
Oh dear.
Why?
Get out, all of you. I cast Bane on you. No more.
I'm taking away all of those D4s. Like,
I didn't
I
have
didn't
one.
make
No,
the
no, 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 no.
so,
Well, looks like we have two options available to us. It was possible that I think we can get to Retberry and acquire a focusing prism.
Ones from the ships.
Yes.
It does beg the question of which is the greater threat. While these seals do seem to be greatly important, the threat for them seems to be ambiguous and, well, non-specific at most, whereas this war effort does seem to be an immediate concern for everyone.
However, we were dispatched from Lederungsland to search for the seals. We are expressly not part of the war effort.
We are not. Oh, never mind. Ruby. Soul doesn't say that because she doesn't know. Go back to being meek and quiet.
But many
Aren't
people
I?
will die if we do not help with the war effort. Imagine these blasts from the focusing crystal. It will kill many people, like the children in their balloon.
But what if this entire war is coming off of the back of the sigils? If we find all of the sigils and secure them, the war may end.
Or bringing them together could cause more complications. We don't have as much information about these seals, or what is the problem. That is unfortunately what is needed.
Which is why I feel we should focus on them, and it hurts me to say this because I am very, very interested in finding out how these lasers work, but it is not our primary objective.
I don't think
Perhaps.
these two instances, the war and the seals being somewhat threatened, are entirely disconnected. I do think they have something to do with each other. The Legend Empire could be the ones that are after the seals, after all.
I am convinced that they are connected, especially with the dragon attacks going on at the same time.
So I think helping with the war effort is connected in such a way that both objectives could be moved towards with securing this focusing crystal.
I do not mean to insinuate that the choice is mine to make, but I do feel that this is one of those situations where typically a consensus is derived. When there's a split path, you make a decision as individuals.
I don't believe we really know where to go next with regards to these seals. Like, obviously, we can go and see the Chevaliant, and what then? if they are in possession of one of the seals, I highly doubt, to the point where I think it is lunacy to suggest otherwise, they were just going to hand that over.
I'm
Or
not even
anything of the sort.
I'm not even convinced that we must hold them. We must simply know where they are.
Zep, you have mentioned that one of the most dangerous things in a war is information. If we were to go scout for the focusing prism, we may also run into the Eladrin soldiers. Perhaps we can figure out what their targets are. Perhaps they are searching for the sigils, the seals, and if we know what they know, then we can beat them to it.
And capture a high-ranking Eladrin officer.
You say that you were told to stay out of the war effort, but you have already, from what I have heard, directly intervened in attempts to affect the war twice by preventing the assassination of the King of Ate. Whether you want to or not, you've been involved in the war effort quite heavily, is the point.
And we
I'm not
killed
sure
them.
that those assassinations were connected to the Eladrin. I think that was a different organization.
We also killed the Summer Eladrin.
Yeah, but that was before the war.
I stand behind Zep. You are my captain. Whatever you choose to do, I'm with you.
Ruby's journal.
So,
I'm assuming yeah,
Nope,
guys,
this is Ruby's journal.
Not this time, my bad.
does specifically mention that the Eladrin are looking for the weapon, and if what we believe is correct, and this Joanna is a seal, I think it is not impossible to think that they are also looking for the other seals.
I agree, which is why I think we should focus our efforts on the seal and let our nations fight this war. I have
But-
every trust in Lederung's land to fight it even without my presence. We would have such a small bearing on the total outcome that our efforts are better elsewhere.
I do not think that they are mutually exclusive, Master Skyspan. The more we harm the Eladrin in their attempts to look for the seals, the less effective they might be elsewhere. And if a good defense can be mounted against these prism weapons, it would be beneficial overall.
They control the bay already. That alone is leaps and bounds in winning this war. You cannot mount an offensive if you cannot move your troops.
It's true. Darius, what is your impression here?
I don't think we have to go. I don't think we have to sacrifice one for the other. We can do both.
You can, it's just which one is more pressing.
I
And it may be a good idea
My
to
fear,
see what Greer thinks about the seals, because that man knew a little bit about a lot of things.
Greer was an elf, though, was he not?
He's alive.
I don't know much about this Redberry, but my concern is if this is a city under siege,
Half elf, I think.
time is of the essence. For now, there seemed to be consensus that this may have been a friendly-esque situation for us. That may not last forever if we decide to head somewhere else and
If the Eladrin
investigate other
Empire,
means.
if the Eladrin Empire controls the bay, it will not be long until they can consolidate their hold over Berry and purge the gangs. That would make it much harder for us to sneak into it and steal a ship or a prison.
Is there something? Why is Redberry involved in the ships on the sea?
Well, it was assumed
It's in the bay.
it's in the bay.
Which is under.
So-
Are we assuming that the Eladrin ships are going to be docked in Redberry? Do we have information on that?
The destroyed prism that was already obtained was obtained from Redberry.
I was not aware of that.
And the Night Pilgrims can sneak us in and out, and they have gangs that are actively working against the Eladrin forces that are there.
We have some experience with those gangs. That doesn't surprise me.
Say we go to Redberry and do that. Seems the one that's the most time
Sensitive. Yeah.
critical.
I want to go to that pizzeria again as well.
Also, just
Still
as a reminder,
guaranteed,
you do
still
have a
standing.
letter for the Archknight still to deliver. That's a thing. You did accept that.
We do also have a letter for the Arknight to deliver. That is a thing. We did accept this.
Thank you,
Oh.
Zep. I don't know what we do without you.
Actually, put that in my inventory, even though I don't think Brett's the one carrying it.
No,
I
you
would
are. I
say
think.
that
Just so somebody had it.
how much time would we lose if we were to travel to Gavarlu and then to Redberry? And while you think of that, I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Jevalu. Yeah, Jevalu.
Jivalu, the capital in Ardathel, is the complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neverloo.
I'm not familiar with Redberry. If you believe that it can withstand siege for, well, we just took a week already. If it can last another 4 or 5 days, perhaps it is not out of reason.
I don't think it's anything to do with withstanding a siege. I think it's more to do with no matter what scale of occupation, that city isn't changing. It's just gonna be a shithole regardless of who's in control of the shithole.
The problem is that there is no incentive for the occupiers to keep people alive, including high-ranking potential informants that we need access to. So the earlier we get there before they have a chance to be captured and killed is better for us. Also, we just to iterate, we know it's not under siege, we know it is occupied. It has already been taken over. That is the information we have received already. So it's not the they're a staging base.
Are the gangs not fighting back still, though?
They are. They're actively fighting back, but there is a hard crackdown that we also know. So there's active warfare going on there. And
Do
that's
we
not a
physically-
sustainable thing.
Do we need to speak to the Archknight ourselves? Can we utilize the children as letter couriers? Or do we have questions for this person?
Fucking balloon mail.
Zedaar has been keeping fairly quiet here, but as these kid keep something up, Zedaar will just raise his hand and says, I could just message Greer.
Yes.
I have met people in Redberry. I could message them directly and get information from them. That is entirely possible.
Is it limited by how many words? Do they have to speak it aloud?
Words, days.
You see if
I
Remy's
can
still
send several
alive?
messages. Remy, also, Mickey, Jackal, whoever we think would be useful.
Was that Irish fellow that we fought that didn't
Mickey.
die?
That was Mickey Mads.
Right. Yeah.
I could even mention
What's Irish?
the guard captain. No, we never met the captain of the guards, but we did meet one of his lieutenants. I could message a great deal, many of them, and get as much information as I can. It would be limited by 25 words each, but I could get sitting reps.
Well, we should avoid the guards because they're most likely not alive. Out of everybody there, they're the ones I'm almost certain are dead.
I would think potentially the guards would be the ones that have joined the Eladrin to save their own skin.
Greer is the best one to ask. He was always the information broker.
He is not happy with us.
That's the other thing that I don't think is great is we tip our hat that that we need information and that they might expect we're coming there, and if they're not on a good terms with us, then that's gonna make things harder than us just arriving, so they don't have time to plan anything. You know?
Just tell them Zaraj the Knight is asking.
But Zedaar has a very distinct voice.
Yes, but tell them that I am asking. I'm kind of a big deal.
We actively stole from individuals and ripped one of these most valuable items out from underneath his nose.
Yep.
I believe that they might respect that. They understand the game and all. I think that they might be upset with you, but ultimately they can't blame you.
The only reason I mention is I believe that occupation by the elves is more dangerous to their way of life than we ever were. If we are offering to get rid of that, the enemy of their enemy might very well actually be their friend here. But that is making an assumption.
That is making a very big assumption. Zedaar, actually, that's a question. We don't need to use the children. Zedaar, you were planning on leaving at some point, weren't you? Is the current plan that you had going?
Once the information about the seals had been... now that the situation with the ruby, once we had arranged it, I was going to depart, yes.
Well, you could take the letter, and we don't have to entrust it to some children who can't steer their ship.
We'd also have Darcy.
That's also true.
I was taking Darcy with me, do not worry.
So that's... we can wipe that task.
And then you could send us the information that you get from the High Valiant. I have a feeling you have met us as well. Hello, I am Zep.
Finds out he can't message us because he doesn't know the real us.
If that is what you would like me to do before I set out, then that can be done.
It's on your way, isn't it? And it's in a sense, it's in the general direction.
I would need to... Passage getting to the capital to get back to Legron's land would be most easily devised by airship, so...
Kids.
Going there is on the way.
Yeah.
Give him the kids.
I would prefer actually to keep the kids with us. This is the other topic of talk, but
Absolutely not. Hard no on that one. No.
I would like to...
The people that you found on the boat, on the balloon, of these kids.
I
don't
believe
know them.
Pascal at least has some potential as a student of aeronautical engineering. I would not mind passing some of this information on, having an apprentice of sorts.
Right. So, about that, we're going into hostile territory. 1.
Active war zone.
Active war zone. 2. They're 17. 3. They're not great at what they do. They have not proven themselves that well yet. And 4. They have actively run away from home. They're 5 days away from the... They've been gone 5 days from their actual living parents.
Which, that was actually a question and concern I had. If the plan is to return to Redberry, what do you all plan on doing with your airship? Because I don't think docking it would be a viable strategy.
I think maybe we fly over the island, and then we jump off the island.
Too obvious. It
Off
isn't
the
in your
ship.
hands.
In the middle of the night, commando insertion.
We
Feather
must
fall
go
is
in
too
stealthily.
beautiful.
My people cannot smuggle us in if we drop in from an airship. But also, I don't want to jump out of the sky.
I have continuous contact with Marcus. I can have the airship anywhere at any time as we need it.
I do
Yes,
not-
that's
Just on a point on these kids. You say that they're really good at aeronautical engineering and such. And as far as I'm aware, the only place other than with you that they can learn this kind of stuff is in Legrung's land.
Yeah.
And Zedaar, if I'm recalling correctly, you are planning to go to Legrung's land to be around Joanna and as sort of an advisor to the Iron Duke. Potentially you could bring the kids with you?
Well, I have a
Stop.
question. Why is it acceptable for Darius to bring children on board, but nobody else?
It's going to bring
Because
that
Claudia
was-
is an actively trained squire who has...
But what
trained
about-
for upwards
what-
of, at this point,
She'll go to the journal. You had
years.
a page and a squire before that.
I was going
Yeah.
to say, when was the first time you entered active duty, Darius? I suspect it was much younger than 17.
Yes, but I was trained from childhood.
And who trained you?
I'm getting to the point. See, there's the difference here, is that they haven't had any training. They are, and there's a difference in the fact that when I trained, my first times out when I was a page and when Claudia was a page and when my family were pages, they would do things like clean armor and carry messages between destinations, like within like a town.
Darius,
There
nobody
is a simple solution to this quandary.
It's
All
a
of them-
ramp up period before you're in combat.
There's a simple solution here. All of them are adults. They're allowed to make their own decisions. Ask them.
Also, I killed my first man at 9 years old, and no one ever trained me to do anything.
Well,
You are way too spoiled. You grow up with weapons and armor, and you think that that is the only way to take a man's life?
no, I've.
Out of curiosity, Zaraj, how old are you?
Not a polite
You
question
know?
to ask a woman.
That's not very nice, but I like you. I'll
I'm
tell you.
It's like-
I'm 24.
oh, same.
okay.
So young.
Yep.
I'm
No, I can't even say that.
She's older than
I'm-
Breton is.
I'm 7 days.
Okay, Rocky.
Oh wait, no, I'm 26. Time's a weird.
Why are all of your characters my age?
Because they're
I-
young.
Are you
We don't want
7
the
days
back
old?
pain. We don't want the back pain that it comes with hitting 30.
Oh my god.
Please, please, don't, please.
To be fair,
Firmly 30.
My age was determined for me because I just set Breton to the same age as Ruby.
No, I'm just pointing
I'm
out
also
the
young.
fact.
It's not my fault.
I'm just pointing out the fact that I'm allowing Claudia to come if she wants to, and Marjorie was a part of this. Basically, everybody who's come with me is trained and is fairly experienced. Marjorie was this close to being a knight when she started actively participating in warfare. So
But Zeb has found a prodigy that he may instill his wisdom into. There are probably very few minds that are even capable of creating such things.
Maybe they can stay on the ship
Again.
while we're in Retbury, though.
All of this is moot. The decision is theirs to make. They are adults.
We could
Right,
extend
but
the
when we
offer
give
to
them options on what decision they want to make, let's not give them like let's decide what those options are.
Which brings me back to, where will the ship be while we're in Redberry? Can it hover that high out of danger range?
Yeah. But,
Halo insertion into Rep Perry.
How long?
but doing this requires fuel, and part of the way that we are paying for the Skyfire is by traveling between cities and trading.
Well, that was
Marcus
covered by
do
the
that
king now.
autonomously.
No, your crew costs are covered by this king. It's not your fuel costs.
Can Marcus do that autonomously while we're in Retbury then?
He
Yeah,
and the
that
trader
is why-
can. Yeah.
That is why we hired them.
Yeah,
Well, I think the whole point is moot because the Night Pilgrims can get us into Redberry.
Yeah. So if we leave the skyship here, doing its thing, trading, offering support where it can, we will be able to go into Redberry more easily because eyes will be on the skyship.
Which returns us again, that will make it seem like the skyship is picking a side.
It's parking and doing trade.
it's just trading between
It is
different cities
staying-
in Ardathel.
Yes, if it stays in one region for too long, doesn't that seem like it is specifying a region? If it traveled abroad, if it even returned to Lagran's land or portions of Othay, not Othay.
That could certainly be arranged.
Maybe do a route that brings it around to the Rien as well, getting just ever
Rien.
closer to Retbury for when we need them.
Or why not just have it ply the shore around the Bay of Gold? It would then be visiting both kingdoms.
The shore is very heavily controlled by the Eladrin, who have shot at us on sight before.
That's why I'm saying we stay more inland. We have the benefit of not being tied to the sea.
The only concern there is that would mean that the ship is far away from Redberry in case of danger.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is not a resource to rely on. It is something that concern must be taken that it is not something to be considered a home at that point.
We can adventure on foot.
We can.
Vama is
Yeah.
going to pull out the map and like draw like a route with his finger that starts in the Kingdoms of the Nalatels and then like goes around the Bay of Gold and ends in like Bror Morave and Margley, which is pretty close to Redbury, but still inland on the Rien side. Maybe the ship can make this sort of route, and then when we need them, they are close but not in danger by Redbury. And it's like pointing out different, Norwich Sea and Dusterville and Ostfield. All these cities are or towns.
Yeah, that is what I
on the way
meant by
there.
going
Yeah.
around the bay. Yeah.
Perfect then. Okay, I'm in agreement with that.
Seems all that's left to do is to give these young men their options, and for also the group to take a consensus of what is the next immediate course of action. Shall Zedaar take this missive to the Chevaliant and deliver it on behalf of the party, and you all make your plans for going into Redbury, or do you all want to handle that more directly?
I'm for doing the Redbury infiltration concurrently with the Zedaar taking that letter. I think that gets everything done.
We are not far from Arte. I could travel to Arte, book passage on a ship, and then travel directly towards Javelot, and then to Legrazon after that. It would not take long.
Pitville would be where you'd get a ship from, but yes.
Pitville, sure.
Like a
Thank you for the correction. As Zedaar looks around for whoever just gave him that information.
Bahamut.
random crew member was just
You're looking out for me, man! He just points at the sky.
Oh, Bahamut, yeah.
I could go either way. Personally, I would prefer to go to Redbury. It means that I can expand my research. But in terms of greater strategic objectives, I would prefer to go to see the Chevaliant.
Well, just to be clear, yes, you got the this is where you got the previous parts from, but you have no confirmation that there definitely will be a ship there.
Yeah.
Just as a thing.
We are banking this on a chance.
Yes. You just feel like it's it is the closest port. But yeah.
There is a third option. We use our position in the skies to see as far as we can, especially as we now theoretically have access to a spyglass, or I will try to make one. I've just upgraded the workshop.
You think you're stealing this kid's telescope?
I'll steal this kid's telescope.
If he joins the crew,
already has.
Well,
but
yeah,
this gives
okay.
us-
Are you advocating for them or are you taking from them? Where's the dark fall on this?
If I may continue, with third option is we use our own vessel to attack one of theirs and take it over this way.
That was my original plan.
We discovered that these are the center of battle groups. If we were to try and do that, we'd be facing like maybe 6-7 ships.
We're doing a halo drop on a
Yeah. These are the battleships that are escorted by cruisers. They are not just lone ships.
But what about joining one of our own battle groups?
There are none left in the Bay of Gold.
Yeah,
They're
None left.
They're in
They
ports.
fully control the Bay of Gold.
Yeah, you heard that from the King's War Council that they've been smashed. At least Othray, who have the largest fleet in the Nardathel, have been smashed, and until they get reinforced, there's nothing they can do.
Stealth seems to be the best option in regards to this.
Redbury is a strategic port. If I was resupplying ships, that would be my choice.
Well, we can
That's
do
where
both
they
of
came
them.
from.
We can
go ahead, Paul.
confirm. We can confirm if there are ships docked in Redbury if Zedaar's ability to message this Greer is correct.
I can do it, and I can keep in contact with you as well. The day before you arrive, I can keep you informed and ensure that you do not have to dock, assuming we can make friends there and the communication goes solid. If they are keeping tabs on any of those ships that dock, you all can arrive the day of it docking.
I would say that's a great idea, but not Greer. I fear that Greer is the kind of man to save his own skin at any cost, and if he is smelling where the wind is going and he thinks the wind is going towards the Eladrin, he will have aligned himself with the Eladrin.
Yeah, I do not-
Ryuro is a representative of the council.
Wait. The rabbit. We know.
I gotta get my notes to remember the rabbit's name, but I do remember the rabbit.
Do you mean
know the
scumbag?
Scumbag!
We promise him money. We promise him some money, and we can get information out of him. We know him.
I trust him 1,000 times more than I trust Greer.
Do I know if any of these people are night pilgrims? Like my contacts over there, they told me about the night pilgrim people.
None of these names are sounding familiar.
Scumbag would definitely not be.
No. I know exactly who I should contact.
What about
was
the
one of the-
Marquioness?
Yes.
We
We
worked
are on
for her.
very good terms with her, and she is the leader of her organization. And she is also attached to the noble elite. If anybody had the resources to survive and is in time to help us, it would be her.
I agree.
I'd say both are good options. I think Scumbag, I trust what he says because I don't think he has the capacity to lie. I think he's too pathetic for that. And
He's also a little bit more, I would say he's a little bit more resourceful in the skulking around and finding information. Like, I would trust her more. I can't remember her name. I would trust her more, but I think his ability to play the part of the spy and without being caught would be a bit higher.
he's also like he's
Way
so
more
far
expendable.
down- He's so far down that totem pole that I don't think they would care enough to have him killed by now. I think he's
Also, his name was Donovan.
Donovan. Dang,
Wait,
there we go.
We could also
Note keeping.
we left Kifis there.
Just as a reminder, the Marquioness is an elf.
Yeah, that's okay. Then that yeah, I'd say-
Because
yeah, Donovan.
the old ruling class of Retbury were elves because it was originally there.
What
Yeah,
about
Donovan?
Gavin Wilbach? He was the halfling who we united with his love. He definitely
about
owes
that,
us.
Didn't
I'm
we get him on a
pretty sure they were
ship out
trying-
of Retbury?
Yeah, he was smuggled out.
Yeah, they smuggled out of Retbury. I think the only options we have are Scumbag / Donovan, and then Kivus disappeared.
Honestly, the last time we met him, we were fighting him, but I have a certain idea that maybe Mickey Mads is a good contact to make.
He seems
He
the
seems
type-
like he seems the type who would fight against any occupational role. And while we were on nothing on terms, it is not like he did not like us. It was just that we happened to be on opposite sides.
and he respects power.
Definitely seems like somebody who would fight against any authority.
I think
Either
actually
way-
Mickey Mads is the best option, to be honest.
While you suss this out and maybe decide on what you're going to say, we're going to go for our midpoint break. Join us in 5 to 10 minutes time where we will be back with more of this. Use this time,
Role
hydrate,
play, guys.
stretch your legs, and we'll see you very soon.
The world of Valdirus is one of old empires and new nations, of emerging new ideas combating the beliefs of the past. Civilization slowly crawls back from the dark ages so recently ended, but the deep forests and dark corners of even the wealthiest nations remained untouched and filled with corruption. The root cause? A great schism in the hearts of the faithful.
In the name of the 5 wisdoms and that of the divine legate, you have been found guilty of heresy and shall be judged by oath in the afterlife.
Children of the Church of Glass, raise your tools and arms, your pitchforks and mattocks. Cast aside the plowshares and take up the call to war, as your right to faith and life is at stake.
As an age of enlightenment dawned, An era of closed-mindedness followed, but it was the common folk who truly suffered the most.
Any able man must fight in the levy, fight for his king.
34 years of bloodshed and hurt. Some cannot even recall a time of peace, and it shows no signs of slowing. In a world shrouded in such darkness, it's a wonder how anyone survives.
Welcome back. So we left off with the party trying to finalize what they're doing. So party, take it away.
I think we should go to Repri.
I think we need confirmation first. We should also drop.
Maybe then, Zedaar, could you contact? I think our best bet for who to contact in Repri that would both be willing to aid us and also has the ability to get the information would be Mickey Mads.
That is who I was intending to contact, yes.
Okay then.
Zaraj, get off my lap.
That's not Zaraj.
I am
was waiting
sorry.
to move forward with that before we had made the final decision. So if the plan is I will make our way to the capital, and then on to Legoran's lands. I will send the information I can to you all, and then I'll also contact Mickey to see if you all can gain more information about what is going on there.
And I will put my food down since I immediately brought into the conversation. And Zedaar will... I have sending prepared, and I can cast it a whole bunch of times. Because we are people who are of a set level. Let's see here.
That is true.
This is indeed how the game works.
If you're not specific enough, everything is true. Zedaar will cast Sending. He will send a message to Mickey Mads that will say quite simply,
Mickey, I believe we can work together to solve a mutual problem. Respond to me to confirm 25 words or less for future conversation.
and that'll just be the first word that he kind of sent, the message that he sends
Okay.
off.
Zedaar, roll me a D100, please.
Okay.
Oh no.
I would have also suggested saying, "This is Zedaar." It's the first thing you say.
This is your conscience speaking.
Oh, he never listens to his conscience.
So why are you making
Suddenly
noise
have a
then?
bicameral mind. This is your own conscience.
95.
That
Unless you
could be
wanted it
very
to be
bad,
low.
actually.
Yeah.
Could be-
Oh.
Either great or terrible.
For a brief second, I think I know why Mitch is asking me to roll. That is technically 6% off of 100.
Do I rule it that it needs to be high or low? D100 rolls are always weird with D&D because it's no. Okay, I'll say it goes through.
Well, if it's for the reason I think it is, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. 95 is technically 6%.
Isn't it? Is it a 5% chance it does go through or doesn't?
Doesn't go through if it's on a different plane of existence.
Is he dead?
Mickey Mads got banished during a combat and he's just been stuck there.
Ah, well. I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm rather incapacitated right now.
It's just a moment where Zedaar's like staring into space. His mouth's just like,
I think Mickey died.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an option.
Tia Zorp?
He almost died when we fought him. And we were shit back then.
Says you.
No, we were.
Yeah, that sort of closes down one option.
Did he not respond, or how?
No, he said that he's not going to be able to help. He is incapacitated.
He could be in prison.
was I aware that the message Was I aware of the fact that the message seemed to struggle to reach him briefly, or is that something that I was not aware of?
You
Give him
are.
area code.
It took longer than expected.
And then I imagine Zedaar interprets that as, I don't think he's going to be in a position to help us, I'm afraid.
All right, check that one off the list.
How
Scumbag.
about Donovan then?
Zedaar's gonna like sigh. Okay, I'll mark off my second spell slot.
I hate that I'm now having to try and remember all these accents.
Welcome.
They were only 2 years ago, Midge.
This
From,
is your
like,
crash
episode
course, Midge.
3.
We're going back there.
Mickey Mads should have been like the easiest one ever. It's literally the guy you play games with every week.
Yeah, but he over stereotypes it. He over stereotyped
do
it
his
hard.
accent, but more.
Yeah. So Zedaar's gonna say, "Scumbag, do not become alarmed. This voice is a friend. Can you give us a situation on Redberry? 25 words or less."
Oh, he's dead too.
Oh, so you're trying to get in contact with the great Donovan? Well, I believe me and my gang can do you quite a favor.
Go! Again, Zedaar's just gonna sit in there. Scumbag moved up in the world.
Oh fuck!
Apparently, he's referring to himself as Great Donovan now.
Oh god, Ratberry got fucked. If he's a leader.
Everyone else is dead.
Everyone else is dead.
This is better than expected.
Why did you not contact the Marquioness?
Because she is an elf. And she may be sympathetic to the Empire's needs or desires.
I doubt it. Well, I'm sorry, not wrong character. Never mind.
Yeah, you're not Ruby.
Just a random like, get away. Little sprite.
I hate that I hate and this is a thing that's gonna bother just me. I hate that he changed his name to Great Donovan because now it's 2 words to reference him, not 1. And that is
Oh,
one
it was
less word.
the great Donovan as well.
Shorten it.
Yeah.
Shorten it. Donovan.
Hey, Donnie.
Just start instead with excellency.
Right, anyways. So Zedaar's like, so that is a potential lead. I will mark off another sending. I've got 5 more of these, sorry. And he will say, Great Donovan, we are asking you for information on Redberry's current standing. Do you stand against the Eladrin?
When they get him away, I, as the unbridled ruler of the Southern Island, have a mutual agreement with them sometimes, but, you know, things happen.
And Zedaar will relay that word for word.
We got an in.
The whole Southern Island is united now?
Under him. Let's reiterate that. The whole island is being led by him, which does not bode well for the power structure of Ratberry.
Who does that mean? Like, I guess the Jackal's also dead.
Boy, he's lying.
That's true too. He could-
Insight checking.
This could just be all in his head. You are talking with his conscience.
It doesn't matter. If he believes it, that's also... It works for our ends. Whether it's true or not is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
The next message I'm going to send him is going to be, who else is in power still? Friends or foes of the Great Donovan? Oh yeah, man, I'm going to make you figure out everybody.
Yep. Well, I sent that buffoon of an ogre packing. I got the jump on him one night at the warehouses. I think you know when.
You know that?
The ogre, yeah, because the ogre fled.
Blackjack.
Yeah, Blackjack fled. Did Donovan shank him as he ran away?
Donovan come up with a stiletto and just get him while he was down? Was that what?
I mean, we left
Since
him
then, I've been
pretty
wearing
badly
it,
damaged.
and since then I've been wearing his pretty piece of jewelry, which has really helped.
He inherited it. He inherited
intelligence.
Jackal's gang.
Yeah. Oh, so this isn't him. This is him being supplemented.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense.
Well, and then
And
he's
the
out of
words will
words.
cut off
actually.
because there's too many words.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, great, he's a worthy one. So apparently he supplanted Blackjack, took an amulet. Did it make him smarter? I think it may have made him smarter.
It's a ring, but yes.
Does he sound smarter? We had a good.
I think he thinks he sounds smarter.
All right. Yeah.
Very often, those who think that they sound smarter really are.
Either way, we have a potentially sympathetic in with potentially a power in Red.
Didn't he want to be your squire?
Like, no, I think maybe yes.
No, you were paying
you
him to
hired
be
him.
your squire.
I was paying him to be my squire.
You paid Jackal for him to be your servant.
Yes, that's
I
right.
bought him for a period of time.
Did he enjoy it though? I feel like you did make him enjoy it.
You forced this on Donovan. There's a point where you forced him to go and take a bath.
Yeah,
Because you wanted him to take care of himself, and he was not about it.
Yeah, I made sure he practiced hygiene, got a good meal, had some good clothes. Yeah.
I
So
imagine
actually-
smart Donovan would have appreciated that now, though, looking back.
Yeah, I think we've got a good in.
So do we tell him we are coming to Redbury? Because his relationship with the Empire seemed to be, they don't mess with me, I don't mess with them, but when they want to work together, we do that.
Incentivize it. Tell him we have gold or something. Self-serving people serve themselves.
Tell him in the next few weeks that there may be a job opening for some very lucrative work dealing against the Eladrin.
No, actually, what we could do, get information. Are there Eladrin ships that dock at Redbury? Because we don't know that for certain yet. We don't know if it's a regular thing, and we know he'll probably work with us, maybe. But he might know that.
It's spell 4, but Zedaar will say.
You can rest and get more points back, King.
I know. Just this is
about-
all he can do right now.
How about instead of that, got a big job coming up. Need to know if Eladrin ships dock in Redbury.
And Zedaar was going to phrase it slightly different. And Zedaar was going to say, send another message off to the Great Donovan.
Might have work for you? How often do Eladrin ships dock in the Bay of Redbury? The big ones. Fancy points.
Well, they're coming in from time to time. Not the big ones anymore since that incident. They keep those out and then ferry in what they need and what they're not. They don't send the damaged ones here anymore either. Marchioness is... And cut off.
Alive. That gives us context clues.
Involved somehow would be what?
No, there was a good point of information there. They ferry stuff to them, though. So there are they're near, and they do come
Probably
near.
not the crystals, though.
Yeah,
No,
they said they
but-
don't send the broken ones there anymore, so they do not have repair supplies in the city.
No, but they did say ferry. So
Yes, we can get there. We can sneak aboard.
yeah, if they're ferrying supplies from the shore to the ships, then that's an inn.
A very good stowaway. You don't even know that I'm on the airship half the time.
Because you never leave your room.
No, I hear
Very.
the scratching all the time. Every time there's turbulence.
I can imagine Zedaar is actually doing toes on the wall.
The biscuits, yeah.
I want to give him a time frame where you all might arrive.
I think we've given him enough, though. I don't fully trust him. At least this is me. I don't fully trust him. The fact that he seems okay with us is good, but I don't want to give him like a specific time frame so that he could potentially betray us. Just so he knows maybe we'll show up.
We'll find him when we get there.
Yeah.
The infiltration, he's on the South Island, so I would suggest any infiltration try to take place there. I will send him one message to say, the group may be in touch. Watch for them.
And he will literally just send that to Donovan and just say,
Great Donovan, you may hear from the Skyfire. Keep an ear out.
He doesn't know what the Skyfire is.
That happened well after we knew him.
he's still sending that as the message.
All right.
It does sound cool, though. And he seems like the kind of person to respond to cool names.
I think Zedaar's logic there
My logic there is if anybody mentions we are the Skyfighter, he'll know who we are.
He replies, I'll make sure my invoice goes to the Leonard Company. You might want to check in with Glear.
Nope. Cruise live. Cool.
He and the old guard captain are helming the... And that's where it cuts, I think.
The guard captain is still alive as well. Greer, Makiones, and the Great Donovan. Mickey is MIA. Breakjack is presumably dead.
And his guard captain is more a title than a name, so it could be just...
The guards are seemingly still intact, though.
Yeah.
All right. So basically anybody who had a positive opinion of us has disappeared except for Donovan.
And he controls the entire South Island, so it's great.
Awesome. This is totally
Alright, so where do we go to meet the Night Pilgrim infiltration team?
I guess that would be...
Sorry, I guess, Brendan, it seemed like you all made contact with them in the city, so back to Arte?
I'm asking that to Zedaar.
No, we will be able to meet them when we get there. I just have to suss them out with thieves' cant.
How would they smuggle us into the city if we're not meeting them before we get to the city?
It's a very good question. I shall consult my notes from the last session, Mitch.
They didn't tell you
say
how, but you'd need to get in contact with them if you wanted to be smuggled in.
Back to Arte.
The Night Pilgrims aren't only in Arte. They are in...
Arte was pretty close.
What's the closest place to Retbury that's like not a tiny little village or something? Like along the way, can we make a stop?
Well, it's in the middle of the bay, so...
Belvedere, actually, where these kids are from. Probably, in terms of in Othray, that is.
I guess maybe we go to... do the Night Pilgrims have a charter in Belvedere?
They mentioned that they could get us in, that they have teams that go into there. I assume maybe we find them in the closest place. See, now I'm kind of confused because I thought that those dudes were going to get us in. The ones that we met, they had mentioned something about...
I think we should talk to them then. I think we should just go back and...
That's what I'm saying. It's an organization. That means they have contacts. They arrange these things.
Yeah. And they'll give us like, oh, you
is that going to be on the way?
We don't know.
Where's the map again? Because I don't.
Just search under images, Ruby's map, or just put in Ruby. I think it comes up.
Okay, that makes sense, right? Yes.
And I don't think we'd know until we knew where we'd have to go to get to that team, which we'd only know by talking to them. So I think we just should do that.
Okay.
At least that's my vote.
As for the kids situation, Pascal is 100% down for becoming an apprentice. The others, however, aren't as cool with the idea of not being under Pascal as their leader, and therefore would like to go home.
Belvalise sounds like a good plan then, if we're going to bring these kids home as well.
Works for me.
Okay, so Arte Belvalise onwards.
Yes.
Question,
Yeah,
is
we could
Zedaar
probably-
leaving now then? Or is he staying on for a bit?
What will be the closest location to Pitville?
Where you are right now.
Then I believe Zedaar would depart immediately. God damn it.
Okay then.
Then, since Zedaar is realizing that he's going to have to leave sooner than later, he has one last thing to deliver, I think.
Okay.
As he is going to, basically once everybody starts to separate back to their own quarters, he is going to follow after Darius. So just knock on his door.
Come in.
Zedaar kind of looks in. Darius, do you have a moment?
Yes. What do you need?
It looks like I'm going to be departing sooner than I anticipated, so I wanted to make sure I got all of my goodbyes in.
And I'm just going to step into the room, look around. Is Darius's room tidy?
Darius, I would say Darius's room looks like somebody who's on vacation at a hotel, but doesn't trust the maids. So everything's still in the suitcases. It's still like packed. It's all organized. There's specific places for everything. So he's very, yeah. It's better than when he was at a tavern where nothing ever came out of his pack and he just kind of like laid on the bed. So it's better.
Just curious here about what I would say to you when I was leaving. I've tried to give people advice. At least I thought that I was trying to give them advice. Just a little bit. But I kept thinking about what I would say to you, Darius, and honestly, nothing much came to mind. You know, people have complained about you on the ship, or at least they've had their opinions of you, but you just try to be practical. There's nothing to be faulted about being practical. I've seen you do some great things. Fighting for your sister against your other sister was pretty impressive. You should have had her. I still think you should have. You fought the elemental in the sewers. Was not a great example of it, but you did so without fear. You faced bravely. I don't know if this was meant to be somebody for pure of heart, and if it was, I'm going to be honest, I don't care. He's going to take out the shield of the Onion Knight and just kind of set it on like a table or something near a cabinet. You don't have to use it, but I feel it represents something good to be leaving behind here.
I don't know what to say. I'm not good with
I see. Feelings?
talking.
What I'm trying to say here, Darius, you are... I think in all capacities of the words, you see yourself as just an everyday individual. Somebody who may be from humble beginnings, even as a knight. And I think this should be a good reminder to you that even somebody from humble beginnings can be a hero.
He'll offer his hand just to shake his hand.
This is like a momentary pause when you say hero, and he just kind of not like ignoring you. He's just kind of looking out for a second, and then shakes your hand without hesitation. It's been an honor. Hopefully, I see you again. Hopefully, you do well. Give Joanna my regards. She.
Maybe we will all meet again.
Yes, hopefully.
I need to go and say goodbye to the last few people, but take care, Darius, and take care of them.
I will try. I will try with as much as I. Yes.
Zara will nod, step to the door, just kind of give it a soft pat, and then he will step out of the door to leave Darius by himself. I think the only other people he hasn't said goodbye to are Zaraj and Soul.
Is he gonna say goodbye to Breton?
I was thinking the same thing.
He doesn't need to say goodbye to Breton. That's already happened. That was off screen, but that has already happened.
I didn't want to change. I didn't want to hit the emotional impact there. I was gonna say, I don't see you talk with Breton at all. Why?
No, I avoid that because nobody wants to hear me sit here and talk to myself. Trust me.
I don't like him.
He will go and he'll find Zaraj. And I should actually hold on. I need to add the shield will be on midnight to the party loot. He will go and find Zaraj. Probably starting at her room just to see if she's in there.
Yep, cowering in my room because we're flying.
Zaraj, do you have a moment?
Yes, Zedaar, please come in.
You'll open the door, step in. Is Zaraj's room neat or is she messy?
No. I've got so Zet made me a bunch of stuffed animals that I had for the sleepover, but I've since like ripped them to shreds. So there's like little bits of cloth and like, you know, the stuffing everywhere, and like I've got all like my blankets in like a pile on the bed that I sort of just need when I'm nervous, which is all the time when we're flying.
Zedaar, you also see a stack of like so many things in the corner that aren't hers. It's just like, it's also really random things, not like things of worth. It's just like that box was being used to like store plates in the kitchen and like stuff like that.
Someone's like spare hat.
Yeah, like for some reason 3 boots and she wears none. Like it's, yeah.
All right then. Well, you may have heard that I am departing from the vessel soon, and I wanted to say goodbyes. We didn't know each other very long. What has it been? Maybe 2 weeks?
Not very long, but I have always admired you.
As far as gonna give her a look.
You say that, but you also mentioned my deity was not one worth following.
Well, to be fair, I do not really believe in the gods. A god that has the power to fix the problems on this planet but does not do so is not an all-powerful being in my eyes. But I have seen you do amazing things. You have brought me back from, I believe, the brink of death.
There was a few times that I have helped you in that regard. You know, it's funny that you say that the gods are not so powerful because they cannot just help everyone at once. You've seen here, you've heard in Elendor that the gods cannot help the people who do not ask for it. And I have shown that if you do ask for it, there's great things that you can do. So I feel like the better question is, why don't more people just ask for it?
Perhaps I will start to do that. Bahamut seems as though they are a very powerful entity. I have a favor to ask of you, since you are going back to the city that I grew up in, if you do not mind making a short pit stop, and I'm gonna give you the dice set that I carry. There is a fountain in the town. If you could bring these dice and just put them on the edge of the fountain. It is a friend of mine that has since passed. Maybe even say a little prayer for her.
He'll take them and nod.
I can do that. I'm in no hurry to return.
Thank you.
I've been giving gifts to people as I've been leaving, but I found myself at odds as I do not know what I would give you. But now that I know you're going back to Redberry, maybe these are very old, or at least compared to how long we've been traveling with them. Zedaar kept these from Redberry. He never got rid of them. He has 2 maps of Redberry detailing both the gang districts and the neighborhoods, and little notes and information that he has put on them. So he is going to just hand those over to Zedaar. Not Zedaar, Zeraj.
But he said,
Thank you, me.
Thank you.
He hands them out and then takes them from himself. I accept.
To me from me.
Yeah, he will hand them over to you. There are some notes in the margins about what they were looking to do. I don't know how useful they will be, but if anybody can make use of them, it's somebody with your particular skill set, I think.
Thank you very much.
so in the same images area, Zeraj, you can open the Redberry map and the Redberry Gangs map.
Ah, excellent. Very good. I understand that you are on a very important quest. I will be sad to see you go, but I believe that we will probably see each other again.
I believe so. I hope so. It amazes me how easily you fit in here. People have known you so little, but they treat you like they have known you your whole lives. That is a special skill for someone to have, to be so readily accepted.
Thank you. I appreciate this. It is how I am able to make my way through life.
Do your best for them.
I'm gonna give you a big hug.
Zedaar will hug her back. And as he's hugging her back, he's like,
Oh, and as a minor gift, I don't think I'll be needing this anymore.
and he's going to take out a potion of feather falling
Haha.
and just kind of hand it to her.
In case you ever end up falling somewhere.
Thank you. This will come in handy. And I'm just gonna keep it on like a little leather bit of my belt, like kind of easily accessible.
You can do that.
And he will, pat her on the back, finish the hug, and say,
All right, one more to go.
he's gone around the ship in this busy time because we haven't been covering what Zedaar's been doing. He's been saying goodbye to a lot of people. He's been saying goodbye to the Minotaur, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, but I definitely have it in my notes. Reminding him of, that if he ever does go to Atria, he will say hello to the people he asks. That is written down. People like Moses saying goodbye to Marcus. He wasn't familiar with most of the group, but
Minotaur actually gives you one of his many earring, one of his cultural handmade pieces of jewelry to wear.
then if he's giving a gift, Zedaar will give him his old holy symbol, the one he handmade for himself before he left Atria.
He accepts and he goes, "Oh, this will make I will make something good of this."
I trust you will. Do your best to keep them safe. I'm asking it of everyone. It is a group effort.
He nods.
But he'll eventually peter along and make his way to Sol's room.
Okay.
He's kind of knock on the door. I imagine Breton is just kind of standing outside. He just looks up at Breton, waves. Breton waves back. Soft nod.
Yeah.
It is Zedaar. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
Step inside the room.
Hi. I was just
Compared to what Ruby had before, Soul's room is immaculate.
I figured as much. I didn't even bother asking.
But
Like,
all of
this room is
Ruby's clothes, all her old clothes, are neatly folded and set up on a like a chair, just sitting there, like she doesn't know what to do with them yet.
You have actually done wonders in this room already.
Ruby was not much of a. It was a disorganized mess.
To be fair, Breton also cleaned it up before you got it.
Sure. But it has not imagine it walking into a hotel room the first day. It looks crisp.
It seems weird to say goodbye to you, because from your perspective, we've only known each other for a few days. But for me, it represents more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's in there, whether it's just Soul and Ruby, or if Ruby is somewhere deep down waiting to come out. Maybe you are Ruby, but just don't understand it yet. Either way, I wanted to say goodbye. Ruby and I may not have shared views on many things. You may have learned about that from other sources, but I still considered her a friend, because even friends can have differing opinions.
Sure. I know she considered you one.
The advice I was going to give her doesn't apply to you, I think, though. But I suppose I will give what advice I can. You are who you want to be, not what anyone else expects of you. I know Breton out there may want to see more Ruby in you. Many of the crew would. And you may feel that there's a pressure to be somebody you are not, but I want to be the one who tells you. The only thing you are expected to be is what you want, who you feel you must. Not by expectations, but by that. And it was gonna like poke her right in the sternum right here, who you feel you have to be. Your choice.
She takes in a slow breath, and for a half a second, there is just that slight cocky smile that appears and that little bit of fire in the eye. Be better.
Always better. I have a few gifts for you. The first is, he'll actually just slide a ring off his finger. After what happened to Ruby, I feel like she could use this more than the others. Maybe it'll keep you safe. And he'll hand her his ring of protection +1. Check that over. But I also have these. I bought these at the Zorps Emporium a while back, before I knew what practices the Zorps. I'm not going to get into that here. The first was something that I planned on giving to Ruby when her sibling was born. And he will hit. The first book is a book of wet nursing information. Yes, he bought that at the Zorps for that occasion, because we learned that Ruby's mother was pregnant. The other is a more comprehensive one. It's a book that goes and delves into the aspects of humankind as it exposed to the outer planes and the powers that can derive from that. It might be worth a read for you. And he's also going to give her the victuals of humankind.
Oh. Thank you. I don't know what I'll do with this, but thank you.
That's the beauty of it. It's up to you.
I'm sure Breton will get a laugh out of the wet nursing book. Zedaar, she wrote a lot about you in this journal.
I'm surprised.
It's... You know, she actually wrote a lot about everybody. Her thoughts, her feelings, her opinions. And with you, it was always a form of envy and respect. They talk a lot about how she never understood a relationship with a god. She never could. Because she never thought of anything being bigger than herself. But with you, it was unique. She saw the, and you'll forgive the expression, I hope, the human part of it.
There is a secret to having a relationship with a god. Most people see relationships as a form of give and take. There is something that is given, and there is something that is taken. That is not how faith works. Faith is give and give. There is no take. Everything is freely given. Everything is freely given back.
Yeah, I know. And I think at some level she understood it. She actually, there's a bit of here about how she actually secretly worshipped the king that never was, as the one who, in his own way, fought against the gods and told them their place in the universe. Perhaps it was the ego part of her, but she had faith.
And you have yours.
I know, I guess, is the difference.
Just because you know it does not mean it is not faith.
I'll disagree with you on that one, but thank you, Zedaar. You were a cherish to this group, and I will try to hold up that light that you gave to them.
And she will reach over and cast Death Ward on him.
All you can do is try. It's all any of us can do.
Zedaar will move in to give Soul a hug as well.
She'll hug.
When you do, so make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God.
You're not within 10 feet of Breton. Actually, depending on how big your room is, you might be within 10 feet of Breton.
It's
because he's standing at the door.
Britain is really big.
I would say no. Only just, though.
It's loading when I rolled a 13 plus stuff.
Okay.
13 plus 1, so 14. It's not loading for some reason.
Memory of Rubies returns.
There it goes.
You remember the heated argument that you and Zedaar shared following the events of the floating island.
Okay. Soul's eyes will kind of gloss over for a second. She
Take care of yourself, Hattie. Don't overwork yourself. They will manage to eat. It may not be gourmet, but they will manage to eat.
Might be getting sick. And Zedaar actually just place a hand on her forehead.
No, I just remembered something of her.
Oh. Well, as I said, our memories, they don't have to be yours if you don't want them to.
It was guilt. She accused you of something. And it was so heated, so... Without even thinking, she pointed a finger. I think she hated herself for that. And she tried to find the words afterwards, but couldn't.
Do not falter. A sorry is not needed.
Oh, no, I'm not apologizing for her.
I wasn't asking you to. But I also didn't need one from her. Nobody has to apologize for being themselves.
Yeah.
Zedaar will just nod, turn, and make his way out of the room. He'll shake hands with Breton. But then he will make his way down into the understorage, finish packing up Darcy, which has been packed so many times it takes all of a few seconds to fit her with the barrels that have her food in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it Ring of Protection 1 or 2? I'm sorry.
it's just Ring of Protection.
Okay.
And he will sidle off the ship and just start to trudge Darcy into town to book passage.
Okay. you begin the probably about half day's journey towards Tivoli, with the letter for the Arch Knight in hand. You say your final goodbyes, and Zedaar rides into the sunset.
Or sunrise.
Sunset at this time.
I don't know, there was one more thing. He did say goodbye to Braun as well. And the gift he got for Braun, since he had a chance to stop off and do some shopping, is he bought Braun a brand new paint set.
Aw.
Nice.
So there may be some new stuff that Braun does with some painting in the nearby future.
Okay. Then Zedaar leaves. The rest of you.
Till next time. And then we hear from him in like 4 sessions when he's in the capital, like, hey guys, I got the information you wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What do you want to do?
Find the Night Pilgrim contact person, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we
So-
gonna leave the ship here or set it on its course and head out? Or are we gonna have it drop us off in the nearest city, which I just had the map open?
I think if they drop us off in the nearest city and then Marcus does a journey around various cities, going in a general direction, like aiming for his like final stop to be maybe like
We'll say-
Morave or something like that.
After Zedaar leaves, Breton would give it a few moments, but he would actually knock on the door and ask Saul, may I come in?
Sure.
No, this is awkward. Just work with me here. Just wanted to talk about something that Zedaar said. About Ruby.
Yeah.
You've been reading her journal.
Started to, yeah.
Do you feel like you have an idea of who she was as a person? Or are you starting to understand who she sort of was as a person?
A little bit. She certainly had a high opinion of herself.
I doubt I'm in that journal.
No, this is... Looks like she started it when the group arrived in Cochison.
Long after we stopped seeing each other. She had disappeared and there was no word of her. But I've known Ruby since we were both young, very young, not even 10 years old yet. And I knew parts of Ruby that no one else did. She was strong, but she wasn't always that way. Even as a kid, she had her precocious streaks, but most kids do. Do you know why Ruby acted the way she did? Is that something you've managed to read into the subtext of her journal?
Not yet, no.
Then there's something I want you to keep in mind. As a child, Ruby was under a lot of pressure. And I mean a lot of pressure. Not much in the way of friends that she could make, the way Edward decided his child would be protected, watched. She played it that it didn't bother her, but even Ruby was capable of breaking down, crying, worrying, being fearful. Underneath all of this bravado was just a scared little girl. And she hated that. She hated a world where a scared little girl had to worry about those things. That's what made her who she is. The decision that she would make a world where there didn't have to be scared little girls anymore.
Soul's head goes down at that.
So everything you read in that book, and everything that you start to learn about her, I want you to keep that in mind. That deep down, Ruby was just trying to make a world where other people didn't have to suffer like she felt like she did.
Okay.
I'm sorry if this is a lot of information, but with everything you're learning, I just wanted you to know that even Ruby would hide truths from herself. But I wanted that to go on record.
Did you love her?
She meant more to me than anything.
Your name isn't mentioned once in her books. But she loved you. I don't know how I know that. But I do.
And I will take it as solace. But Brett will shuffle awkwardly. I just wanted to say that I'll go back to leaving you two. Brett will just kind of awkwardly creep himself out the door, kind of close the door just to ajar behind him, and stand outside.
Okay.
You can sit in here if you want. You don't have to stand outside. Or crouch outside, I guess.
And Breton will sit inside the door just so he doesn't have to like crouch. He's basically sitting with his knees up in the hallway because he can't fit inside the underdecks.
Yeah.
No, if I could, I'd make a request that we transfer you to one of the guest suites just for convenience sake.
I'll ask Master Skyspan.
So, you begin to journey towards Arte to find the Night Pilgrims, or were you going to go straight to Belvelise?
I think we would be able to meet up with the Night Pilgrims in Belvelise because they're like a large organization.
It's quite possible. You assume that you might be able to find someone.
Okay, because I have the wrong notebook.
Are we sure we want to chance that, or we just want to go talk to the ones that we talked to before, in case we need to like speak with one-eyed Jack or something like that, and we have to like a specific person that we have to meet.
So sure,
I imagine they've got like charters everywhere.
Yeah, I feel confident that we could find the right people.
All right.
Plus, I kind of blew everyone's minds the last place that we went to, so...
Maybe we avoid the people who are deciding they need to get their life issues in order right quick.
Yeah, they're probably like getting everything all sorted.
Like half of them are creating a bucket list, the other half are finding God.
Yeah. I could tell them all about Bahamut.
Slowly, this whole part.
I like how she pronounces it like Stephen Colbert pronounces it. Bahamut.
This party is all slowly converting to Bahamut.
Zedaar did his job.
So yeah, it's a good cleric, dude.
Yeah.
His life's goal to spread the worship of Bahamut. He did a damn good job of it, I think. So far, anyways.
Okay.
All right.
So you begin to fly. Zip, roll me a d10, please.
Okay.
As long as you don't.
Be
As long as you don't. Okay, as long as you don't get a 1. You make it there in roughly 3 days. It is now the 25th of Harvest End, and you see Belvedere for the first time, I think. Most of you, well, you are aware that this is the Count of Belvedere was under the Duke of Arte. And the Count of Belvedere was also recently dispatched by you. But you land. Where would you like to land? Outside the city?
I'd imagine it's
Yeah.
Do they have a sky dock?
No. Hell no.
Okay, then yeah.
There's 2 places in the entire
Faster open to town
entire Nardathel that do. So faster open to town square? You can do that.
Outside. That's
Yeah.
usual.
You find an area of greenery, and Beverly's there is a middling town. With kind of not much there, but there's a small keep. It is walled. Kind of your standard medieval large township, medium township. What would you like to do? It's probably morning as well when you arrive.
Can I be on the lookout for any thieves' cant like markings or sigils or anything on any of the doors or buildings or?
You absolutely may. Roll me either. Give me a perception check, please.
Ooh.
Does having Claudia with you give you advantage?
Could I tell Gourd, like, hey, Gourd, look for weird shapes? I rolled a 9.
If the entire party are going to help, then you may take advantage.
If we're looking for signs, even if it's in Thieves' Cant, would my Eyes the Runekeeper help?
No.
You said the entire party, Midge, and I had this vision of us all just like, it's like Jiraj in the middle with her hands over her head, and the rest of us just like standing around her with our hands.
Thieves' Cant is not a written language, really.
Code.
It's codified language.
That's
Rise of the Runekeeper would not help you break the Enigma code. Like, you'd know exactly what the words are, but you wouldn't be able to read the words, kind of thing. Well, you know what I mean. You could read exactly what the words are, but the actual sense to them.
So I'd be able to see, oh, there's some writing here that says whoop dibbly scap dibbly bop doop bop ship up.
Possibly.
I don't know what that means, but I see
that's
that it
if
says
they're
it.
using text. They might be using images. They might be like it's not a codified language. It is this.
It is a bunch of symbols. I will say I rolled like garbage, so I can't see them, but you can actually get DMG Thieves' Cant symbols.
Though we have established that it's all slang from the 1940s, so it's probably just written on. It's probably just written on the wall somewhere. Like, yo,
I
man,
can't
look
see
out for a
it.
jive talking.
Yeah, I can't see it, but there are symbols.
Yeah, there are symbols, but it's like
Safe house, hideout, murder.
yeah, but again, they're not they're pictograms. It's not written language.
Okay, fair. Well, they must be deeper in hiding. Perhaps I will do better to ask around.
I love that one of the Thieves' Cant symbols is a cat.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, in this world, I want to know if I bet Zedaar added that.
Well, no, it stands for me. It means nighttime for the night.
Sure.
I'm illiterate. I don't know. I never had the formula.
If you write your name in Thieves' Cant, would it be Cat Cat?
Yes.
Actually means a kind lady lives here. Apparently in Thieves' Cant. So... You're
there...
Kind lady lives here, but she isn't home.
Are there any, like, poor beggars on the street, or, like, little ragged dressed children running around?
You random street urchins, tell me where the Locust Thief Guild is.
There seems to be, actually, roll me a luck check. Roll me a luck check. Let's do it that way.
Is that just a 20? D20?
Just a D20. Don't forget you have your D4 from answering the thing earlier.
Add that, actually. So
Sure.
D4 will make that a 22.
As you wander the town, you come across an alleyway where you notice a bedroll. With somebody in it. It seems.
God, I hate that I have to do this. I'm going to walk up to said unsheltered person and lay down at the foot of their bedroll and start purring and just look up at them and go, don't make this weird. I will give you some gold, but you have to tell me, where do the local thieves hang out? You know, perhaps you've heard of them, the night pilgrims. They probably pay you for information. That's what I'm trying to do. And I just sort of like sneakily slide some 2 pieces of gold.
Sure. From out of the bedroll. Are any of you watching? Or is this Zedaar on our own?
Don't judge me.
This is far too weird for me to pay witness to and not mention it, so I'm nowhere near this.
Okay. Sure. Okay. From this bedroll. Oh, you're right. Hello. It's not a human, but a match patch.
No.
What is that?
It's a raccoon person.
Kiffis. He hears from across the alleyway.
As soon as I heard the accent, I was like, hold up. Hold up.
I thought you were dead.
He then rubs his eyes. Oh, the sun's up. It's really early for me. Sorry.
I am trying to give you gold so you can tell me where I can find the night pilgrims. However, this is even better. And I dig in my bag.
I don't really take gold, miss. I prefer.
Understand, and
I'll take
I'm going
garbage.
to give him some fish. I know. I
No,
want
that's
to
fine.
give him some fish.
I'll take fish. That's absolutely fine.
Would you like fish bones as well? I have some bones. I have picked clean.
Oh, I can make something good of those. Yeah. Okay, go on.
Shank people with them. So yes, I am looking for the local night pilgrim hangout. There's more garbage in it for you, if you know what I mean.
Oh, well, I happen to work with them. Would... I can show you.
Great. So, what is your name?
Oh, my name's Kiffis. Nice to meet you.
I am Zedaar the Knight. I think we are about to become very good friends.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Perhaps you know these people. They are with me. Do not be alarmed. They look very big and scary, but believe me, we could take him if we had to. Don't worry. And I introduce him to the party without realizing that you guys already know him.
It's like you start walking towards him like, no.
So out from the alleyway, rolling up a bedroll, pull it with a bag of what sounds like clinking, clanking cans. round the corner, with quarterstaff on their back, you see Kivvis.
Well, go to fuck.
Hey guys, I found a friend.
I'm confused. What is this strange? You know what? Maybe this isn't strange. I've seen the trip line.
Yeah, you would have
No,
seen
it's
Match Patch before, but they are few and far between around here. But they're not unheard of. The rest of you, however, heavily recognize this. Actually, no. Soul doesn't. But he goes,
It's
no
only 3
fucking
of us.
way. Like what you done with the hair, Ruby.
Okay, there's gonna be. We need to talk about that.
I grew it myself.
Ah, she's funny.
What?
I couldn't resist.
How? How'd you make it off the island?
Well, like when you lot kind of went, I stayed around a bit. I did some work and then I got a boat. The old magic thing didn't work anymore.
Oh.
I mean, no hard feelings or anything, but I'd only known you like 7 days, so I wasn't. It was nice seeing you all doing all right, but not gonna move heaven and earth to see you all.
Yeah, I guess technically that is. I disproportionately place you higher than most people I've known for a week because a good portion of the people I met that same week have become business partners. So I suppose that is correct. Huh.
I'm sorry. You said his name was Kifis?
Yeah, my name's Kifis, or sometimes people around here call me Shadow Eyes.
Okay, we're not calling.
That's a really cool name, Kifis.
So this is the individual who's going to help us?
Are you?
Help us find the people that will help us.
Oh no, you're looking for the Night Pilgrims. I work with them now. Anyway.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad you landed on your feet.
Yeah. Glad everybody's doing well. We've got ourselves a adventuring company, big airship. When I saw
Sleeps on
I think that perhaps we go to this meeting place. I do not feel safe out here in the open.
Oh. What?
I don't like it here.
Well, yeah, it's fine. Right. We need to go over to Cheese Hall. So,
I love you, Kifis.
Oh, it's an area town. It's a lot of fromage, whatever they call it in Fionian.
Yes, that's the good stuff.
Fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
It's basically milk you can chew.
It is the smelly stuff.
Well, if it's good, it is.
Gourd be like, oh, I wonder if a fellow would like some cheese.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to resolve that situation once we get Shane back.
Stay strong.
Yeah.
As you can see,
so
plot.
you head
Tom.
to. I've also just shared the map of this town in Discord.
Been a while since we got one of these. Nice.
Yeah. Because you've been going to the same place over and over again.
Yeah, we have been. Fair enough.
What's it called?
It's in Discord, not on Fancy Grants. Right. Go on, follow me. Oh, by the way, since we last met, I can do quite a lot of new things. I'm guessing by the shape of you lot, you can do the same.
What sort of things can you do?
Well, let's trying to
Pulls out
remember
his
what.
character sheet.
Yeah, I've got fucking.
And he's a monk, so
Run straight up one of the walls.
yeah.
Well, no, I mean most of it happens at night time, but I can normally like teleport through darkness.
That's pretty cool.
I know, right?
Oh.
Also, I made this, and he pulls out it's a staff made entirely of forks.
When you really feel like forking over your enemy.
I feel like you've got a funny name for it too, like the dig in.
It's a better one than the one I had.
Fork you?
It was fork off. I used it like a javelin.
Yep.
I kind of like fork off. Honestly, I think it's pretty good.
It's
When
very
you
good.
kill people with it, do you say "time to die"?
Time to dine.
No, like tines, like fork tines. That's a joke if you know fork anatomy.
Time to dine.
I'm sorry. I'm not of the high nobility here.
I refuse to believe Zeraj knows that.
I imagine
I didn't know that.
I imagine Zeraj will have stolen many a fork.
You can do something and not know the specific terminology.
No, it seems to be a clever weapon. If you were to throw it at somebody, it could be a mini pronged assault.
It'd be like being stabbed with 3 to 4 knives.
I knew some people would enjoy that joke, so I had to make it. I killed Beth.
That was too good, Breton.
Oh no. Well,
Either way,
He's still laughing.
I really like your staff.
thank you.
Cool.
Should we go? Maybe.
Yes, we can lead the way.
How exactly do you make the forks stick together? Is it simply by pressing them together with...
No, I found this like this weird looking stone, and I rubbed them on it, and then they all magically kind of stuck.
magic sticking stone?
It like sticks to other bits of metal as well.
Oh, it's just a magnet. I see.
He's been part of magnetism onto fork.
He's a wizard.
He is a scientist.
I am a collector of many things.
Science is just magic that you can explain with numbers.
That's not.
Yeah, this is pretty much true.
No. This is roach. This is not. It's not.
Also, that any sufficiently advanced science is indistinguishable from magic.
And sometimes it is.
Right.
Science is just fuck around and find out.
So, the Smelly Cheese District, where is it?
It's outside the city walls. It's kind of where the rough and tumble here happens. But it's good. They've got lots of nice cheese. I hang around by the bins quite a lot.
Just give me a moment, and Zep's going to pull out a pin. Just clip his nose. I'm used to Lederung's cheese. It is more creamy than smelly.
Okay. You head to that district, and
It's in the cheese district.
he takes you to what is essentially an old community hall, just like a long wooden building that. There's a good chance that this part of town used to be a village outside of the town, but has since grown enough that it's now attached to the town walls, kind of thing. So it's got a small chapel and an old village hall, and he hops up onto one of the bins of the village hall, and then in one of the windows, it's hold on, I need to unlock the door. And then Comes around, opens the door. Come on in.
I follow without question. Just, yep, this is how we do it.
Yep. Sure.
Sure.
I'm glad that Soul carries a ration of crackers, just in case she comes by a cheese factory.
I was born for this.
I do not understand why they let the cheese rot. Makes no sense to me.
Not rotting, it's aged.
A lot
It's
of
rotten.
things go
They
through
put
that
mold in it
process.
and let the mold grow. It is
There
disgusting.
is a semantic difference.
Depends
All
on what
cheese
part
is
of
molded in.
Nardafail you're in as well. I mean, some of it's kind of a fine cheese, like.
I'll tell you what. I'll get the best selection I can, and next time we go to Legrand's land, you can share your country's nationality cheese with me, and we will make a comparison.
Fermentation's a common process.
Also, just about all cheese has mold in it.
Cheese is just old milk.
It's rotted milk.
It's not rotted milk. It is milk that has been treated with an stomach's intestines. Not intestines, enzymes. Although I'm not sure that even Zep would know what an enzyme is. But stomach acids have been applied to it. And that is what makes it. It is a chemical reaction.
Bacteria from the walls of a cave. That is a cheesemonger's job, to go in and rotate the wheels of milk so that the bacteria may fall off the walls into the cheese wheel.
For us, we use
Have you been reading
stomach of a
Cheese
pig.
cookbook?
No, I'm just a very big cheese aficionado.
All things dairy, Siraj knows.
So, you mean? Oh, right. If you guys wait here, I'll go see if I can get the right people. Yeah.
Sure thing, but I would like to insight check that, because I've only had Kifis for 1 day now, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
You just find Kippis and go, I would die for you.
23.
He
Okay.
has a new ruby.
Also, I think Kiffis is like
offended soul noises.
Kiffis is like a 3'1", like raccoon man in a robe. Like it was like a sort of like.
Zaraj is Ruby's pet, and Kifis will be my pet. It will be Soul's grand pet.
You see me. He's like, nah, I'm completely trusting these people, and then this is what you see him. He just kind of like jumps off the table into a shadow and disappears.
Oh, that's so cool.
Couldn't do that last time we saw him.
We're just kind of like in a nervous state. He's gonna like start to fidget around, like holding the long sword of warning, like thumbing the end of the hill, just keeping it close and safe.
Is there anything you guys would like to do?
I'm just gonna wait for Kifis to come back.
Brent is just watching, keeping an eye on things.
And suddenly, back through a different shadow next to you, Breton. Just, all right. Yeah. They're gonna be like 10 minutes or so.
Can you not bring people with you when you do that, or is it just you?
It only seems to be me. I tried. It didn't go well.
What happened?
I went. They didn't.
Like,
Oh, so it just didn't work. There's no ominous meaning to that, or did they?
did you bring back like an arm or a finger? Or...
Yeah. What? Is, you seem to have more shock on your face than is warranted by what you just said.
Well, we were we were buried alive.
Oh.
I mean,
The next 10 minutes are awkward silence.
Right.
I'm gonna try to like cat groom the like dark circles around his eyes because I think that his fur is dirty, but like it's not because it's just raccoon fur.
it's just raccoon. I mean, this is awful nice of you, but I think it's just the coloration of my fur.
It's very handsome, very good, and I.
Just because I don't think Zaraj has seen an image of Kifis, I will make sure I share one. Because there is
I'm in love
art.
with him. beauty is in the
Well,
eye
actually,
of
no,
the
you've,
beholder.
you've probably seen him because he's like the stock photo that we use for the filler cam half the time. But
That's
I
him. I love him.
yeah, he's freaking adorable. Anyway, about 10 minutes pass and 3 individuals enter. They all very much smell of cheese.
Ruby's nose perks up. Ruby Souls. Blue.
This region's version of a Miller.
Cheese for everyone.
Hello, the raccoon said you are in need of a night. Wait, you are Zedaar the Night, no?
Yes, I am. And I turn to the group like, see? I'm cool in my own circles.
Of all the tabaxi I have ever met, Zedaar, you are by far the most recent.
just a high school kid. Look, people know me.
Visions of the future too, by the way.
I only moved here like 5 years ago. You bought my family bread when we couldn't earn anything. I am ever in your debt. Anything we can do to help you and your friends, I am. This chapter of the Night Pilgrims will endeavor to help.
I would like to say in Thieves' Cant, swiggity swooty, we coming for that booty, which means we need help being smuggled onto Red Berry.
What is an apt response to that?
I would point out, Midge, maybe you could think over that response.
Yeah, because we're
And
at the end of we're at the end of that.
Over the next week and try and figure out a good response to that.
In my utter devastation at ending the episode on Swiggity Swooty.
Never has there been a better ending. What a
It's on
cliffhanger.
brand. It's very on brand.
We will
Cliffhanger,
leave
yes.
the party as they intend to head back to Repri with Kiffis possibly being here, and whatever else lies ahead them till next week. All we have left to do is to thank everybody who's been playing. As always, thank you to Commissar Roach, Mordred Viking, Lord Lambert, Ghibli Jam, DM Opal, and DM Lake. I have been Midgeman. This has been the Component Cast. Join us tomorrow night for our next episode of Zweihander the Great Schism, and we will see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.